What is going on, people? It's Friday night. The Friday Night Lime is back. We're missing a big component though. Mr. Angel is on vacation. But big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to our Bajanredstv massive. We are back and we're ready to go. It's your show. It's the Friday Night Lime. We're here to talk about any and everything. The link is in the chat for who wants to come in and chop it up. Let me have some fun tonight on a Friday night. Big up to everybody who is here already. Joe, big up. Let's go. Big up to D. Big up family. Happy Friday. Honesty. Squad, big up the man. Then we're here for the chaos. It's too positive. Yeah, we're going to have some chaos tonight. Just started cleaning the yard for daughter's second birthday tomorrow. Diversified flying fishing cuckoo incoming too. What? Joe, I had some dolphin today. Steamed dolphin. Yeah, and people, it's not flipper. So don't shoot me. It's otherwise known as mahi mahi, but Joe know what I'm talking about. Joe know what I'm talking about. Big up Red for life. Big up, bro. You enjoying the weather in the T-Dot? I know it ain't cold no more. It'll be warm. Next week gonna be even hotter. 40 degrees apparently. Whoa. Let me go. Adrian, big up, bro. Honesty. I'm glad that you're doing good, brother, man. I'm glad that you are doing good. Peoples. What do you want to talk about? Honestly, said, can we sell Salah for Musiala? Ooh, I didn't get to watch the game today. Drifty did a watch along. Big up to my man, Drifty. But yeah, Scotland holds some beats today for sure. On goal from Mr. Rudiger. Gave Scotland the only goal they had, the whole sniff that they had in the net. But yeah, her Musiala was cooking. Her Florian Wirtz was good too. So yeah, looking forward to the full round tomorrow. The full round tomorrow should be real good. People, make sure you smash them likes. Make sure you smash those likes. So what's going on today in the world of football? Manchester have signed all documents to sign Savio from July 1st. First completed signing for Manchester City. Wow. Wow. Red Flight say, yeah, man. Hot. Oh, you going to the Pittsburgh one. Who they playing in Pittsburgh, Red for Life? Who they playing in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's an actual shorter drive, too, still. Musiala was on small. If he plays football, he's playing FIFA. Yeah. It's true. Oh, Real Betis. Okay. That should be a good one. Well, everyone knows I'm going to Philly. Y'all should see a vlog too. Liverpool's official unveiling on a sort should be expected around late June with the manager currently employed in his time off. This one got me a little puzzled, people. I ain't gonna lie. How is it we got a new manager and the men didn't even announce him, not announce him, but he was at stadium, hold up scarf, like none of that madness. What going on here? Are we getting a Harry Houdini pull on us? Man, what going on? But I want to hear this here, man. Oh, they ain't got no volume. Look at that. I can sing it. Arne Slot. La 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 la. Arne Slot. La 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 la. Yes. Adam Lallana has rejoined his boyhood club, Southampton. Yes, honesty. I saw that today. Good for Lallana going back. James McConnell, tracked in low interest from championship clubs, Hull, Blackburn, Derby, Huddersfield Town, and Birmingham City. Wow. Okay. Nice. What's going on with Liverpool lately? Not a whole lot. The people still trying to figure out. He's in Ibiza. Jeez, you. So you get hired and you go on holiday before you go and lift up the scarf for the club. I ain't know, you know. I ain't know. But I hear some rumblings today that Saudi team made contact to Virgil van Dijk. People hear about that. That's a little surprising to me, but I don't see Virgil leaving no England and no European football to go and play in Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry. And apparently the wages that was offered reportedly was something like 800,000 euros a week. Oh my days. That is crazy money. Alexander said, big up, I would retire if I was Robbo after that performance. Robbo was stinky. Alexander, that's what you're saying. He was stinky. Oi, that is not good. That is not good. He's in the bees of relax before getting frustrated with Darwin missing Salah slipper shots. Big up, Ravi. Big up, smash the likes and subscribe. Yeah, we're on the road to 5K, peoples. Let me get this going. Has anyone heard from Carvalho lately? Nope, nothing. The Liverpool front has been very, very quiet. I ain't gonna lie. Very quiet. Very, very quiet. It's weird. Very, very weird. Liverpool are too effing about promoting Taylor Swift and the new manager. Yeah. For all the Swift people over there, hold this.
No, Bomba Rascal for me. Bomba Rascal.
Shamelessness, man. Y'all can tell I am not a Taylor Swift fan. Not one bit. Liverpool wants Euro, Real Madrid. Nah, we are coming in for you. Just wait. Madrid is a boogeyman for Madrid. Just want all the Infinity Stones of all the up-and-coming talent. And man, just want to win for the next 20 plus years easy. And not getting no trophies or have anybody competing for the trophy. Oh, yeah. Big up to Liam. BJN says, Dua Lipa, better than Taylor Swift. Pigeon. I like that. I like that acronym there. Pigeon. With Slop, I don't think we get top 4. I think we just miss out. Also, we are messing about in this window. I don't know what is going on in this window, Ravi. This window got me a little... The window actually officially opens today, if I'm not mistaken. All you're hearing is rumors, but you ain't hearing rumors. They're spreading rumors. Anybody who know that? All rumors coming, or people leaving Liverpool. You ain't hearing about nobody coming in. The link with this person, that person. Oh, man. One kiss is all it takes. Fall in love with me. Beijing got some tracks there. Robert played left mid, and he wasn't good. He was the only one giving a damn. Oh, man. Listen, people, let me talk about that. Because I insist something very controversial right now. I think Joe Gomez should start a left back above Robbo if you don't sign a left back. I know what the other people are thinking, but we were actually good defensively when Joe was playing left back. I know Crab will probably kill me, but that's all right. I could deal with Crab. I could deal with the roster. I could deal with him. I could. But what are people saying? Y'all agree with that statement or disagree with that statement? I think Joe Gomez is the better starter for left back than Andy Robertson right now. Because Robbo, like he dropping off a cliff. The 19-year-olds spent last season on a loan with Roma. They would consider offers above 25 million. Okay. Big up John. With Thiago leaving and having no impact this season whilst challenging and winning cup. What if directors don't feel another midfield is necessary? The fan base will go mad, John. They will go absolutely mad if that happened. If we don't sign another midfield, well, for me, I think we need a DM. Hands down, DM all day, every day. We need a DM. We can't rely on Endo the entire season. Rotation, yes. But Endo playing as our DM for the entire season next season? No. Not for me. Not happening. Don't want it. I'm sorry. Not for it. I am not for it. But we will see. But it's very quiet. I think Micah Edwards, Julian Ward, Richard Hughes, Arne Slot, I think all of them have been busy together, sitting on the beach, sipping on a pina colada. Because nothing is coming out of Liverpool. Everything just quiet. Liverpool are one of the clubs who have asked for Juventus defender Dean Hussein, although the Serie A side do not want to lose. Listen, Serie A are moving mad because they just made a trade for two squabblers to Aston Villa for Douglas Luiz for a lot less than everybody thought Luiz would have gone for. That is mad. That is mad. We are Justice Club. We can't get this player. It costs too much, or we can't pay what is needed, but we spend a lot on Nunez. Make it make sense. And all the Nunez lovers, right, went gassed up because Nunez scored a hat trick. But he might have 3 tap-ins. 3 tap-ins. Yeah, Robbo playing like leftover rice. He's sappy, huh? Ay. Did someone cook Robbo last season? Robbo is 9th best defender in Europe, according to ESPN FC, and he's the highest rated left back on Europe. Oh, wow. Really? 3 seasons ago, probably I would say he's that, but not now. Not in my opinion. Robbo is still good, but I don't think Robbo is at that level anymore. I keep saying it, Robbo was dusted since the Paris Real Madrid final, but a lot of fan base didn't want to hear it. Yep. I bought Nunez when he came, but I'm getting fed up. He should be better. Oh, I agree with you. He should be better. He should absolutely be better. He needs to work on his game. He has to show me something next season. Otherwise, Drift, I love you, my brother, but Nunez will have to go. He got one more season for me. One more. One. That's it. And then cash out. You cashed in to get him, you're going to cash out, even if it's at a loss. We can't keep going there. Everyone's saying Slot going to put Nunez on a different level. I don't know. We have to wait and see. But they are our players, and I'm going to back them. But I am not standing for foolishness this next season. I am not. Everyone's cooking Robbo today. Poor guy. Robbo. Ollie Watkins is better than Nunez. At finishing, yeah. He's a good quality player, though. He is a good quality player. But everyone know who I want. Ivan Toney, I want this offseason. He can be had. And not at an expensive price neither. I want Toney. I want Ivan Toney. My guy Darwin will cook this Copa, but if Darwin missed those tap-in, fans will cook him. Have you seen overall game he was on demon time again for the left side of the attack? Yeah. I can be watching a lot of football as of from tomorrow. Copa is next weekend. We got Euro started today. Germany put an absolute beating on Scotland. We got Sabozale playing tomorrow. It should be interesting. It should be interesting. Atalanta have made contact to sign Nicolo Zanillo. He's one of the names they have in the short list. Wow. Okay. Have you seen Darwin for Uruguay? Don't have to do all that running like he did on the clock. He only gets involved in the transition. A lot of people did a lot of running on the clock. That's why some players' legs fall off, a.k.a. Fabinho. Fab legs drop off. Big up, Alice. Big up. Fab legs fell off. That's because he had no one to cover him, and he get fall off, and he got run in the ground. I would take Ollie at Liverpool and Tony, but Liverpool would make excuses why they didn't get them and wait for some next month. Yeah. Darwin for Uruguay is a different player. Same for Sabazalai and Lucho. When it comes to LFC, it look dead food. Yeah, it's real jarring, huh? It's real jarring, honesty. It's true. The cook for the national teams and come back and look like, who can I say that look like? They don't look good. Let me just say that. And a certain person just show up in the back room because he was wanting to cook tonight. I can bring him in. Quasi. You there, Quasi?
Big up. How y'all doing, man? Good to see you.
Hey, good, bro. You good?
Yes, sir.
I told you it was gonna happen.
Man, thank you. Yeah, we need, I was wondering why I guess people were on vacation like on slot, so I had to keep my mouth shut,
Yeah. People on vacation, man. People on vacation. I hear you wanted to cook tonight, bro. Let me hear you.
No, I mean, first of all, I want to go back to the barbecue that we did to Guna Lee because some people said that it was medium rare.
Yeah.
But I personally believe that one, the man is a politician. You can't cook somebody who will not allow you to speak. And two, Guna Lee made it perfectly clear why Arsenal is not a big club. Because all he did was make excuses and blame other people for their shortcomings.
I agree.
You see what I mean? So eventually I was like, you know what? Let's just watch him. He will make a fool out of himself. And later on, we could pick him up apart.
He's a master deflector, right, Quasi? Master.
Yes, sir. I will give him that title because it was effective for him. But if you gotta deflect, you deflect it a way where just like you were talking about Nunez, we could say, well, I do everything right except I don't put the ball in the net.
Which is the most important thing, right?
Which is the most important thing. So people could say, you know what? Let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance because I'm doing everything right except the most important thing, right? I'm not a lazy striker or a forward. It's just I can't put the ball in the back of the net. So people will make excuses for you.
Yeah. Yep.
But if you are not taking accountability of anything and just blaming other people because of your shortcomings, it's like Nunez not scoring a goal and blaming Salah. Salah gave you the ball, Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for the people who said we didn't cook him well enough, bro, the man just showed why Arsenal's not a big club. Big club win trophies. It doesn't matter what the trophy is. And if you come, Liverpool, we won 93 points and didn't win the league.
Yep.
What did we do? We win something else, right? And we told them we'll be back. And guess what? We came back and won the league by December.
Yep.
That's big boys. That's how big clubs do their business,
Facts.
So if anybody tells you you didn't cook Guna Lee, just tell them big clubs usually don't cook underlings, man.
Honestly, got a question. After how many minutes playing for Palace will FC fans say Joe Bellingham is better than Curtis Elliott, Gravenberch, and Sabazalai? That is a good question.
That's a good question.
Quasi, I can ask you this question. Why is it that Liverpool do not go in and sign these young, talented players from early? Why are we the club that have to turn around and wait to see what a man does with a club and then go and pay exorbitant amount of monies for him?
That's a very question. on a shameless plug, I had a show where I said the state of our academy. Why is it that we don't produce these Musialas and Foldings, and we wait till they're about to be great, then we bring them in and spend a lot of more money? It does not make sense. I think one of it, okay, so somebody explained it, the geographic of England, right? The London base always gotta get this better talent. So you like people like Sterling, we got lucky with people like Sterling, right? Sterling came from QPR, and we saw the talent, and then we got him, and then Brendan Rodgers was able to put him in the team early enough. But that's how many Sterlings have we done so far? That's the only person, Trent, and Trent comes from the local, so Trent doesn't count, right? So I think one thing that I'll give credit to the manager is building that training center where the manager will see the kid right away, where we'll be able to start bringing them into the first team early. I.e. the Dons and Bradleys and players like that. So that's why I'm in favor of the training center being named after Klopp, because he told the owners, we need to do this. Don't wait till you finish whatever you're doing at Anfield and then build a new training center. So, before we continue, we have a legend in the building. So
we do.
So
we've got a
please
legend.
introduce him.
We've got the Godfather. Big up Drifty.
Yes, sir.
Big up my brother.
What's up, brothers? What's going
big
on,
up, Drift. Big up, Drift.
Good, man. You're
Yeah,
chilling.
man. Yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure I just showed face, you know what I mean? I'm so tired. It's unbelievable, but I got to show my love, you know what I mean? But what's going on? What are we talking about? What's the discussion?
Man, we talking about everything. We talking about how Guna is the master deflector politician. How can you look a man that just don't stop talking?
Yeah, I think somebody said that he said something else wild the other day or something like that. But Lee's just gonna be Lee, man. You know what I mean? You gotta love him. You gotta love him.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. But I love seeing him in pain. That's the truth. Where Arsenal don't win.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I like seeing everyone apart from Liverpool fans in pain. If I'm being really honest.
That's a fact.
I'm with you, Drift. I am with you as well.
Chelsea, Man U, Arsenal, Man City. I want to see them all in pain. If I'm being totally honest with you. So
I know.
you know what I mean? I'm sick of it being us, man. I'm sick of it being us who's the ones in pain.
What is going on with our club, bro? We ain't doing nothing. Everybody on vacation. Like. All you
I think it's the Euros, isn't it? I think it's because of the Euros why everyone's gone on holiday and all that. I don't know, man. I understand they need a break and they need to go on holiday. I get it, but everything's changed at Liverpool so dramatically that you would have thought that maybe they would have done a few in-house things before they let people have a quick break. Like we don't remember, everything's changed, but they haven't done anything where they've kind of given us. They've told us in the media through other outlets who's going to be the director and who's going to be this and who's going to be that. But I think that they should have done a little more kind of planning around how they present it to us. Somebody told me today on the watch along that the 1st of July is when Slot officially takes over. I didn't know that. I thought he was already in charge. I thought he took over on the 2nd of June.
I thought so too.
So I didn't know that he's not actually officially manager yet. So
I thought that
maybe that's
1st of June was the official. He signed the contract, but this is my theory, right? I think that they want to be completely sure that people forget about Klopp, right? If you bring him right away, then the comparison is very, very strong. Already, he's going to be compared with Klopp. So you want to give him time where people are like, okay, because Klopp is going nowhere. The man is a Swiftie. He was at Anfield yesterday partying with, his beautiful wife. So I think they're doing their best to make sure that, okay, this is a brand new, because like you said, it's a brand new structure, right? From the CEO to the lunch lady, everything is basically brand new. So they're trying to make everybody forget about the old regime and start off fresh, because Chelsea is also doing the same thing. Chelsea has not announced their new manager yet. They've told us who he is, but they haven't come out PR and all that pictures and say, oh, this is the guy. So that's my theory. Because if you remember, Ferguson told people who the new manager is, and a week later they announced David Moyes, and it all was history. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you could have a point. You could have a point, and obtain respect to Klopp as well.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the other day, big up my brother Laurie. Obviously he's an Arsenal fan. He messaged me and he's like, because Bajan, obviously you can see like my DP is still Klopp, innit? And he messaged me and he's like, ain't you over this shit? And I was just like, no. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not over it. So yeah, that could make some sense. Let Liverpool settle down a little bit, make it feel like we don't have a manager, and then there'll be more excitement when we bring him to the front of the queue. Whereas if you brought him to the front of the queue straight away, everybody would have still been mourning Klopp. So that's a good point. That could have something to do with it, for real. That might be something to do with it.
Look at this madness. Gunali called LFC the real cheaters when it was COVID.
I've always said the irony of anybody from Arsenal telling Liverpool fans that we only won the league because of COVID, when they all tell us that Arteta won a trophy, but he won it in the same year that we won the league.
Yeah,
Is like you know what that level of self-awareness is astonishing. Like I know a lot of people don't have self-awareness, but that level of of lack of self-awareness is like, hold on, so your manager's won a trophy, but our manager didn't win the league properly. But yet we had the league wrapped up before COVID happened, and you literally won the cup in COVID. Like there was no fans in the stadium when you beat City. There was no fans in the stadium when you won the final. We had the league wrapped up so much that Bernardo Silva did an interview, and he actually said when we won the game against Leicester in January, they gave up. They knew the league was done. They didn't even bother trying after that because we were like 18 points clear or something like that, and they were like, the title's gone. So was it 20? Was it 21 points clear we were, or something like that, when COVID shut down the world?
yeah,
Something like that. Oh yeah, but we won the COVID title. Yeah, all right, whatever. Like let the haters hate, man. That's all they do. That's all they do. Just let them talk for the sake. If you let people talk long enough, yeah, they'll snitch on themselves. So just let them keep talking, man. Do you know what I mean? And you'll see the truth. You'll see the truth come out. It is what it is.
You know what I gotta say? You know what I gotta say to them people, plus the ones, and I disappointed that Klopp when I watched Taylor Swift, right? This is what I gotta say.
The best one I heard from the Gunners was when remember they played us not last season, the season before, and they were all shouting, bigger fish to fry. We literally ruined their title charge.
It's true.
Yeah, when the 2-2
up at Anfield as well.
Yeah. Let them talk, man. Let them talk. Man City is the only team who can talk, and they cheated. So really, who can talk? Really,
anything come about with the doing of the league from Man City? Did anything come out of it yet? Is it still going on? What's going on with that?
They'll drag that out. They'll drag that out.
You won't know.
Actually, this is the thing that I'm telling people, right? What City is doing is very smart. And the only reason why it's smart is because they know they're guilty. And maybe they realize that the rest of the league does not want to forgive them. Paying them off is not going to work anymore. So what did they come up with? Oh, we're going down. We're swinging. Everybody's going to go down with it. So they're soiling out the league. They didn't say we were not guilty of the charges. They said you are costing us money. So we're going to sue you to pay us for every money that you cost us. So whatever fee they have to pay, they're going to double it.
You know what's crazy about that? I think a week before, Lance Armstrong sued the federation, who basically found him guilty and took all his titles off him. So do you think like Man City seen that and went, "Oh, we could do that"?
Maybe. And you know what it is as well, guys? They know that even though there's football restrictions, there's financial football restrictions, when it comes to the real world, there's no restrictions. And they have an endless pocket as well. Remember how rich these guys actually are. So when it comes to the court thing, they can get everything they need to be able to make a case look good, even if they are guilty. They've got the best lawyers. They can have as many lawyers as they want. They can drag it out for as long as they want. I'm sure lawyers know loopholes around dragging it out, making things last for long years and years down the line, so it never truly. They might even want to drag this out to the point where the Premier League gets so like annoyed by it. They go, let's just call it quits then, innit? And just you know what I mean? And just let it all go. You know that when it gets to that point where it's been dragged out for so long that you can't be bothered anymore, or like an argument with your missus where you're like a day and a half later and you're like, what did we even start this argument about? I don't even know what this argument was even about. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? Can we just call this quits and just wash this beef now? Maybe Man City are going to do that and just drag it out for months and months and months and months and months because they've got enough money to take. The Premier League can't take Man City on for money. Let's all be, you know what I mean? Like, let's all know unless the Premier League want to invest all their money into taking on Man City. But Man City could just sit back and go, we got endless money, you know, we can keep doing this. We can go as long as you want, you know what I mean? And maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Is it 3.5 trillion they're worth altogether or something like that?
It's a whole nation, man. And
you can't take that on. You can take that on. 3 trillion. Who's going to take that on?
Nah. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, man.
I don't think people understand how many zeros that is.
Everyone
that, what even is that? Like,
it doesn't even exist. It's just a number they throw out there.
Fuck you know.
The thing about it though is like everyone talks about like, you know, kicking Man City out the league and you know all of this stuff. They need to just get rid of the owners. Like, just ban the owners out of the Premier League because it doesn't matter whether they got Pep Guardiola or anybody. It's that family that's going to be the problem. Like, they're just going to throw more money at another manager.
That
they
one
won the
is
league with other managers. Pep wasn't the first; he was the third. So,
they just
need to get rid of state-owned clubs. Like, I think that's going to be the issue. And if you look now,
they will
you've got Aston Villa that are suing. Yeah. You've got Newcastle. I know Newcastle haven't done anything yet, but you know they're on the verge. And then you got other clubs that have started like spouting up about it. Like, so they're going to end up getting a bit of a clan behind them of all of these state-owned clubs who are going to side with them. Chelsea will be involved somewhere along the lines because they've got Clearwater Holdings, which is like part of what Newcastle. Owned by.
You know, that part, trying to get them out will be impossible because they will sue you for everything, right? The EPL will not have, like Drifty said, they don't have enough money to do that unless you catch them like how NBA, they caught that owner being racist. So the whole NBA were like,
Sterling, Frank Clippers.
Yeah, you breached the moral rules or whatever rules, so they have to get them out. Now, what they can do is I said the EPL has to be strong because if they fuck around, that could be the end of the EPL because then everybody's looking at you like, oh, so you worry more about the money than the integrity of your league. So the EPL is at a conundrum where they're like, okay, these guys bring a lot of money. I mean, look what they've done to Manchester, that whole investment they put in that area. So that they already bought the politicians on that side. Yeah. So at this point, the best thing to do, right? The best thing to do is take the trophies away from them and keep them in the Premier League. Take all the trophies that they won from the time where they started cheating.
I don't want
maybe about.
I don't want the trophies. Do you really want the trophies?
I want Gerard get one, of course.
I will take the trophies.
I just think it. I like look. I get the fact that like they've done stuff and what they're doing now kind of makes it look so obvious that they have.
Right.
But you can't strip the titles away from the players. The players haven't done anything wrong.
They did.
They did.
Won.
I'll tell you what.
Really good. Like
I'll tell you what they did. They cheated. Those players.
The players haven't cheated.
Right, but cheated. Okay. They cheated. The team that owns technically responsible for those players cheated so that they were able to get those players to come into that club. That's the cheatiness.
Yeah, but that's
So
not,
it's a dope. If I train,
that's not. You shouldn't take that away from them. They've just gone out and played football and won games.
Yeah.
I hear where you're.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I hear where you're coming from, K-Man. I hear where you're coming from. But remember, when Juve went through their issues in Serie A, they stripped them of the title. The same thing.
But that was match fixing, though, Beige. That's the difference, bro. That was match fixing. Do you know what I mean?
We don't.
But the players didn't do it,
really
though.
know half of those charges are do Drifty.
Quick question.
Michael Oliver hasn't made it any easier, has he?
Yeah, no, I hear that. But you know why Matt's got a point, because it would be like, say you had kids who were old enough to go to jail, and you was doing some kind of dodgy crime, and the kids were living a lavish lifestyle, but they didn't really know what daddy did, but they were benefiting from the money. If the dad went down, it'll be like putting the kids in jail as well. It's not fair, because even though they benefited, they had no idea what dad was doing. Do you see what I mean? So it's like the players being punished is unfair, because even though they were bought with money that shouldn't have been used, they did go out on the pitch and win the games. They were playing well. They are good. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, I do understand that it's unfair to punish the players. I get it. If the club's got to be punished, if you're part of it, guilty by association. That's just how life goes. But I get where Matt's coming from, because you do think about players like De Bruyne and Yaya Toure, and these players who were world-class ballers who balled out, played well, and then because of what their parents did, they're going to jail. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, I get it. I get it from both sides. It is a bit of a techie one, isn't it, when you think about it?
But Drift, let me challenge you on the analogy that you gave, right? You watch all the gangster movies, right? The Godfather and all those things. When the government catches them in the RICO case, guess what? They take everything that they ever own, unless you were smart to do something where they can't reach it. You know, you have you have a trust fund where they can't touch it. But
that's the same with drug dealers. Like,
exactly, they take everything. Your house, they take everything, all your assets. So now the kid.
Apparently, the only thing they can't take is what you're wearing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Let me tell you something. Everyone's saying that you can't blame the players. To a degree, they are
not
culpable.
everyone. I think there's
not everybody, but many people. They are culpable, right? I'm a big boxing fan, right? Now, if a boxer gets caught with drugs in his system and he doesn't know where they came from, his handlers are the ones that handle everything that goes into his body, his training and everything. Who's the one who gets punished? It's not the manager. It's not the promoter. It's the boxer. So when you're going to go and sign up, I think there's going to be a big change. When you're signing up with a company, or shall I say football club, it's up to you to do your due diligence. Period. So if they get stripped, good. I'm happy they get stripped. It's clear to see the Chelseas and the Man Cities of this world and PSGs of this world. Come on, man. Most of these guys go there for the wages, not because this club is an illustrious club. Man City shit, bro. Like, they're big shit, right? So you know, that's my little 2 pence, man. I want to continue cleaning.
You know, I mean, it is a fair point. The only thing I will say though, that would be mad difficult is if the club are good at hiding stuff from the Premier League, they're definitely going to be able to hide it from players and and agents. Like, how would an agent or a player really be able to figure out what they were doing if the Premier League took 15 years to figure it out?
15 years.
Come on. You're a player, yeah? You're in a league where the max wages are 150, 200K at best, right? All of a sudden, and you're not even a great player, right? You're an average player, like Jolan Lescott, yeah? He came in and he's making mad peas. He's making more money than who was the best at the time during when Jolan Lescott was playing? Refresh my memory. Come on, man, he's making more money than Gerrard.
That would have been the Stephen Ireland and
oh, sorry, you're talking at them. You're talking at their club.
You're talking about them or us, the whole league.
Yeah.
I don't know, who did they have back then? They had
What was the Irish centre back they had?
Oh God, yeah, the one who scored more own goals than anyone
Yeah,
else.
he was good, but he did have like a dodgy moment in him. What was his name again? Joe Hart would have still been there around them times,
Joe
right?
Hart would have still been there, yeah.
They had Santa Cruz.
Was that Alano? Was Alano playing around them times? Adebayor would have been there around them times, I'm guessing.
Do you think Adebayor, do you really think Adebayor is going to go? Nasri Adebayor is going to go over there because this team is so big. They went there for the wages. It's that simple. So their agents knew. They knew that Man City is shit. They knew there's no history. There was a B-class team, and it's still a B-class team as far as I'm concerned, right? And if you go over there, those agents are culpable. They also know what they're doing. They're trying to get the bag. So them players, them De Bruyne's, Bernardo, Ratface Silva, all of them, man, strip the title from them. Strip it. That's me. I'm savage. Strip them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick. I'm Chelsea. Fucking plastic fans. Listen, I live out in the US, right? And these guys, I come across so many Chelsea fans and Man City fans. Every time I hear them, I support Man City or I support Chelsea. They've been watching football for 5 minutes. They've been watching football for 5 minutes. Like, these clowns that are saying Cristiano Ronaldo is better than R9. Shut up, man. Just shut up. These guys, we need to really start standing up and just eradicating them. Just be savage with them.
Twitter.
Period.
The crazy thing is as well is like there's obviously teams that have like supporting the Premier League, and Liverpool aren't getting involved in any of that.
Yeah.
Like we're
Liverpool.
And I'm really happy that we're not. You know,
that is interesting.
They can use that against us.
No. They say that
against us.
All the teams that are quote unquote snitching, Liverpool is not part of it.
No, Man United are snitching, and Arsenal.
Man U is snitching hard. They are telling them.
Arsenal and Man United are getting involved.
Yeah,
they are like
Arsenal is with like Arteta his best mate. Like,
yeah, but
this is funny. I'm not. Yeah, you always know who your friends are when they start snitching, innit? Imagine that. Imagine that. And ain't it funny that Arsenal, this is the thing that does make me laugh the most, because I understand Man City getting involved to a degree because they hate each other's guts, right? But Arsenal getting involved is quite funny because all Arsenal did is sat back and laughed when it was Liverpool getting screwed every season when Man City were doing all of this. And all of a sudden, now Arsenal have joined the party. Oh, now they want it to be fair, and now they want Man City to be held accountable and all this crap. It's like, all right, come on, let's try and figure out what's actually going on here, because you only seem to care now. You think that you can win the league. You didn't care before. You know what I mean? You didn't call the fire brigade when it was someone else's house on fire. You only called it because now it's spread to your house, and now your house is on fire. Now you want to call them. You didn't care what was burning down before. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're hoping they can sneak two Premier League titles in there, don't they?
But apparently they can't know, because isn't the years it was leading up to prior to before they got involved?
Yep. I was gonna say that.
To be fair, Arsenal and Manchester United, like, love them or hate them. A lot of my friends are Arsenal fans, right? Love them or hate them, they're built as proper clubs, right? Like, Manchester United are built the proper way, even though they got bad ownership now. Arsenal as well, right? So where they are right now in terms of their buying power and their club's stature is deservedly so. It's the clubs like Chelsea and Manchester City, that have basically poured sewage water into the Premier League and turned it into a farmers league 4 straight times in a year. That's blatantly doping. 4 straight. No, but that's unheard of. To do it twice back in the day is like, whoa, that's impossible almost. And yes, records are there to be broken. But you know what? We all know Ben Johnson ran for Canada back in 1988 in the Olympics. He tore up the shop. Why did he tear up the shop? Because he had what do they call that thing in him? He had PEDs in his system. So this is it. It's financial doping, man. And you can't. Look, at the end of the day, if you're a sponsor and your sponsor is the owner of the company, right? And the company wants to grow, in business terms, you can't do that. The tax man's coming. Someone's coming. Someone is coming for you. If Manchester City get off scot-free from this situation,
the league is over.
I'm solely watching boxing, and that's it. That's it. I'm not watching. I've been watching Liverpool since 1990. Like, you know, the John Barneses of this world. I've never seen such absurd, and it's blatant. The refereeing, blatant. Come on, man. I know I'm going on a rant. I don't get a chance to really speak to the man them regularly. Like, you know, I watch Coppish Drifty. You know, I got some. I'm waiting to come on the show, Drifty, to speak a little bit because there's some stuff we have to discuss. But you know what? When you really look at football and the way it's progressed, just look around. Like the Brazilian team has gone downhill because they're running for the cash. Their players are leaving the country too quick, running for the cash, right? Their number 10 is who? Who's the number 10 now? Rodrigo. Oh God, Rodrigo. Come on, that's terrible. Money is destroying the game to a degree. They should be paid. They should be paid, but it's destroying the game. Like when you watch the Brazilian teams now, they don't look like Brazilian teams. They look like European teams now. The way they play is like a Eurocentric method now, right? Then when you look at the refereeing, so all this money's in the game, right? This is how much it's all corrupt, built on damn corruption, almost as bad as boxing. Look at the referees. Drifty's been, and everyone's been seeing this. The refereeing is absurd. They bring in multiple millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to instill a new methodology to ref. Fourth referee. Who else is there? This VAR nonsense, right? They bring it all in, but what do they do with it? Corruption. Corruption. Do you know what? I'm so pissed off because we should have been, bro. Like many teams got hurt this year, but I am seething from the Tottenham one. That Diadisalo goal hurt, man. There's so many situations where we went through because of stupid refereeing. We should have been way up there. We should have been way up there.
Joe, one thing, I think the league problem is the referee, right?
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about
it. It is the referee. And one thing I'm going to say this, and if you're a true Liverpool fan, you're going to, being a Liverpool fan is not easy. We are the true trendsetters, right? We have to do everything right. We do everything right, and usually the person who's doing everything right never succeed. Like even listening to we saying that Liverpool should be the forefront trying to get City banned or whatever the case may be. We are the ones sitting back and just saying, "Hey, we just gonna go. We're gonna mind our own business."
Yeah, big up,
big up, Jamie. So it's for Liverpool fans, it's hard because we do everything correct way. We build the club from the ground up. I know you were giving props to Man U, but let's be honest. At one point, Manchester United was also doing some things.
Brown envelope stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it. allegedly. I don't want to.
I mean, and a lot of people don't know. Man United didn't cheat as in the way Man City did, but a lot of people don't realize they had people on their board that were from the Premier League, like the whole committee that knew the Premier League was coming and whatnot, and they got inside information to prepare themselves much better for things like all-seater stadiums. All advertise, all that, like that's how they were able to get themselves ahead of the curve to gain an advantage over a lot of the other clubs. So yes, they did win on the pitch fairly, but they were still given an unfair advantage over all the other teams as to why they became so financially powerful. And then they used to do
I'm gonna defend these guys, bro. You're gonna make me defend Manchester United, bro. Listen, their academy, whoever was coaching at the time, did bits. So you can't cheat that. That's not cheatable.
No. I never said they cheated. I said they had an advantage financially that allowed them to do things like buy Rio Ferdinand, buy Rooney, all these players. Where do you think they got the money from? From having an advantage. Because remember, like you said, when it was Division 1, it weren't about money. It was about integrity and it was about winning. It was about the pride. And when the Premier League came in, that's when it became about money. Now, all credit, they created an absolutely outstanding brand. But Man U were the only ones that were really ready for things like, oh, well, now we're going to go to seating. There's no standing. So all of it. Remember, Anfield used to be able to cram 70,000 in there. As soon as it went to seating only, they had to take half the capacity away. All those kind of things. People don't realize Man United had an advantage, and they had that. Basically, it's like if I said to you, lot, right, you know what? COVID's coming. Make sure you go and get all of your stuff because we're going to be putting a lockdown. If I tell you that 4 months before it actually happens, you're ready. You're not getting that information 2 days before. Now you're in the store scrambling around, don't know what to get. Things are gone. Do you know what I mean? Being given an advantage isn't cheating, but being given an advantage allows you to be able to get a leg up. Do you know what I mean? And that's how Man United got so powerful. So they didn't cheat, but let's not get it twisted. There was still a helping hand in there, how they became who they were over clubs who they weren't bigger than. Man United weren't winning shit back in the day.
Facts.
They weren't winning shit back in the day. Arsenal was bigger than Man United in the 70s and the 80s. They weren't winning shit.
Everton was bigger than them. Everton was
Everton were bigger than them. They weren't winning shit. I'm not saying they were nobody club. Of course, I don't want to go with that. I'm not going to be disrespectful. They're the first English club to win the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? They have heritage. I'm not saying they don't have heritage. But in the late 70s, the 80s, do you know what I mean? The early 90s, they were shit. Man United were not good. You know what I'm saying? They were not good. Arsenal, Everton, Liverpool were way bigger than them. But they had that leg up. They had that, oh shit, okay, so they knew what to do. Everyone else was like taken by surprise. Do you know what I mean? So
remember Fergie was 1 game away from getting sacked at Manchester.
Yes, he was 1 game away from getting sacked. Correct.
And then even with that, Drifty, with the heritage stuff, Forest is the first country, first club to win back-to-back in England, isn't it?
Yes.
So yes, with heritage back then, everybody was building the heritage. And one thing also, Joe, I love and I give respect to Ferguson, but just like Drifty said, as soon as other clubs started having a lot of money, Fergie was not able to win consistently like he used to anymore. When Chelsea brought that money in, Fergie was struggling. When City came around, it became a problem. What I think we're saying is, personally, I think they had an insider trading, right? And they saw what the EPL was going to be, and they pulled the market. They went on the marketing route and got so much money they could buy Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand, I believe, was the most expensive center back at the time.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the most expensive player. How much did he got? 29 mil back then?
35.
30 mil? Jeez, that then? Wow.
That was what, 18, 20 years ago?
Yeah. They were able to do it seasonally. I mean, they paid 25 mil for Varane, and he was a flop, and like it didn't even matter because they were so rich. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all of their defenders, all of their players, and again, like I said, I ain't taking nothing away from them because they actually got it done on the pitch. So Joe, you're right. Their academy was brilliant. They brought through their class of '92 or whatever it was, and they did have like good players. But you know, being on the stock market, knowing how to take advantage, knowing about the all-seater stadium, all the things they were able to just financially become a powerhouse, which then gave them the advantage over everybody else. Do you know what I mean?
They floated, and they also did. They did the biggest advertising shirt sponsor with TeamViewer and Vodafone and all of them, and then they also did their training kit, and like they were way ahead of the curve. Like
that's because of what Drifty came out was alluded to. They got the insider information and where to take advantage, and they did it before anyone else did.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So fair play to them. I don't hold it against them, but that was how they became who they became. So it's just you know what I mean? It's one of them things.
They organically grew as a club with the likes of Chelsea and Man City. It's not organic. Organic growth.
And if it wasn't for the ban in the 80s for Liverpool, we would probably have 2 or 3 more Champions Leagues.
Yeah, unquestionably.
Because we were dominant in the 80s. It wasn't.
Yeah, what was it? 80? What was it? 85 to 90 or something like that. The ban, wasn't it, or something like that for English club. Yeah. Come on. I mean, if anybody knows what we were like around that time, you telling me we wouldn't have won at least 2 more Champions Leagues during that time?
Hands down, we would have.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man,
We've probably done a few trebles.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we
That's what I'm
really matter for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to be a Liverpool fan because we do everything the correct way, and usually the one who does the correct way usually don't win. You know.
But this is the reason why it means more. So everybody
Thank
laughed.
you.
Everybody laughed when Trent said that.
I've been saying that.
Everyone laughed when Trent said it, but we knew what he meant.
Exactly.
Because
thank you.
When they did that parade, and you look at the difference between we won a domestic cup double and our parade, and they won the league and the and when they did the trouble last season, you look at the difference and you think, no, it actually does mean more. Like it does. Let's be honest, it does mean more, but we'll let them laugh, innit? We'll let them laugh.
Our manager leaving had a bigger parade than they winning the league.
Facts.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
I'm just telling you. Yeah, I mean, people think it's cringe. Oh, it's cringe, bro. Okay, we'll let you have it, but people in the inside knows, man. Sometimes Liverpool, the thing with Liverpool is it's always a story that even Hollywood can't even write. Like the way we beat Barcelona. Do you know how many American coaches have used that speech that club did, which we don't even know whether it's true or not, but it ended up coming out and said he said
You'll see it
something
in the autobiography.
There's like, I know at least there's 3 or 4 different American coaches who are nothing to do with football. No, I'm not even talking about MLS. I'm talking about basketball, football, American football, that is. All of them quoting Klopp. And it's like, you can write this stuff. Sometimes, yeah, we want to win like CD and get amount a whole bunch of trophies in the cabinet. But if I ask you, how did you win this? You're going to be like, oh, we just beat everybody. But when you pull up 2005 Champions League and you pull out 2019 Champions League and you say debate, right?
Honestly,
Debate. 2005, people always just focus on what happened at Turkey, but people forget about the Olympiacos game that Gerrard had to score a goal. Gerrard had to score a goal. We beat.
I still get goosebumps when I watch the replays of that goal.
Yeah, man.
Hey, that running, Pognoli and who's the other kid? Wasn't it
Neil Mellor?
Mellor.
Yeah,
Pognoli and Mellor had a massive
Yeah, they did.
say in us even getting there.
Yeah, they did. I remember we can't discount Bishkan as well. Do you remember his performance against Leverkusen? He was sensational in that game against Leverkusen. Man, like Igor Bishkan, you know, he was balling out, you know, in some of them games. Trust me.
Yeah.
Honestly, put up something here. Question.
And
LFC won a treble in '84, but why don't they count it as a treble? It's just suits their agenda.
I'll tell you why. Because Manchester United fans have said that. Manchester United fans have said that it's only their treble that counts. Unless you win the FA Champions League,
the FA Cup,
it doesn't. Whatever you do doesn't count.
They flip the script, but we were the first.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't we win a quadruple then?
We did it twice actually. People don't remember.
He won 4 trophies, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Did Julio? Did he win 4? What was the other one? What other one did we get that year?
Didn't we get the
like a Super Cup as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Super Cup was there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one's taking nothing away from me. That cup treble was amazing. I'll never forget 2001. Are you crazy?
Oh, 2001, yes, 2001.
That game against Alves was sick, bro. That game against Alves, man, 5-4. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, you're bringing us back,
black and white.
Michael Owen destroying Arsenal hearts in the dying minutes. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Martin Keown scrambling for his life. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I think that the treble in 2019, 2012, 20 was actually an accomplishment in itself, considering that you have to win. You have to be a winner to be in those competitions. We won the Prem, then we won the Super Cup, then we won the Club World Cup. That's an accomplishment in itself right there.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't want to get, and remember when we were so-called medium rare in no Didi, but Gunali. He said, oh, the Super Cup and all these are just milk cup. They're like, bro, you have to win the Champions League before you get to those type of trophies. They don't just invite you.
Right.
You are not invited to the
You
party
have to be a
if you don't.
champion to win.
You know what I mean? I would say this. I was in Europe some time ago, right? And I went to the car show and I wanted to go see the new Rolls Royce that they have. They asked me, "Do you own a Rolls Royce?" I was like, "No, watch it from afar." Bro, that's what they told me. Bro, I had to stand on the other side and take pictures from 30 feet away. If you haven't won a Champions League, you can go to the Super Cup or the Club World Cup. So
Yeah, and they compare it to the
Happens to the
Community Shield. You can play in the Community Shield without winning anything. You can just be runner-up in the league and play the Community Shield because the winner won both cups. So you just get invited. I think Arsenal won it this year, but they didn't win anything to be in it. They were just the runner-up, right?
Yep, right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's
Community
that's
Shield
why-
is not comparable to
Enjoy
the
that bit of
Super.
silverware.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Look,
but that's
you know
why
what? I'm surprised Arsenal fans didn't get shameless and count that as a trophy. If I'm being
No,
honest.
they did.
They did.
Some of them
They
did.
did.
Some
they
of them
called it
did.
Super Cup. They called it the Super Cup or something like that.
Did they? Did they actually try and count the Community Shield? No,
Yes.
jeez.
Yep. Because people were bantering them, saying that Man U won something, Liverpool won something, City won something, and Arsenal nothing. And they pull out the Community Shield.
The Community Shield. They actually did it, which is
Oh,
madness.
that's crazy. That's
It used
actually
it
crazy.
used to be called the Charity Shield for a reason.
Exactly.
Like,
It's a preseason.
It was for charity.
cup. Yes, exactly. It's madness. Look, Arsenal and Guna talking about Super Cup. I don't know how you could even water down those trophies when all your team's ever done in history is a cup winners' cup, which is the equivalent of the Conference League right now. That's all you've ever won in Europe.
Yeah.
But yet you want to
I told you we're gonna have to have the conversation one day, bro. We're gonna have to have the conversation. Can you be an elite club if you don't even have European heritage?
No,
we're gonna have to have that conversation.
You cannot.
No,
There's
I'm
no
saying,
way.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's
Arsenal.
like,
No, please
but
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's difficult. It's difficult when you don't control the narratives, and a lot of times the narratives are controlled or the agendas are controlled by Manchester clubs, or or even sometimes the Arsenals or those types of clubs, because for London-based clubs, it's because they often control a lot of the media resources and such. It's the reason why so many referees come from Manchester and so many referees come from London. There's other people that I'm sure that can referee in England, I'm sure, but yet for some reason those are the epicenters for where they get these kinds of voices to be able to referee or even speak on a lot of the subjects that you talk about. But we need more people out there to reference the fact of pushing the narratives against them, in the sense of the treble and all that context. They created the context for a treble because it suited their team. Period.
But Triff, I'm with you. We have to have that conversation, because for me, if you haven't won a Champions League, and I'm not discrediting Europa, if you have not won Champions League, you can't call yourself a big club.
I mean, you have to win Europa too, man. You can't just say you have to win something in Europe where everybody will be like, okay, yeah.
I talking about the big one. The big
of course,
one.
okay, the big one, yeah.
And that
No, but you know what? Even if they had 4 UEFA Cups, I'll still let them have a bit of chest, because we do remember the time when the UEFA Cup was almost as good as the Champions League. The Europa Cup got watered down because you started taking 4 teams from every league into the Champions League and leaving no good teams left in the Europa League. That's what watered it down. But we all remember the days when only the winner, or maybe to a degree the runner-up, went into the Champions League. And then all the best teams was in the UEFA Cup. The UEFA Cup was the shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even if Arsenal had 3 or 4 UEFA Cups, I say, all right, cool, you've got some heritage there. But they've got no European heritage whatsoever. How can you be a club existing for 100 years and have no European heritage? I don't understand it. I'm confused. I'm so baffled by it. I'm so confused.
Again, it's why Arteta. Okay,
I'll just say this before someone puts it in the chat. Only 23 teams have won the Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big enough list of heritage there, if you ask me. So if you're not part of that, then you're not with the big boys, if I'm being honest.
I agree.
23.
Villa's won
23.
Champions League. Forest has won twice.
Mhm.
To me,
Back to back.
they've got more heritage than Arsenal because they can't chat to them. Neither one.
Yeah, it's the size of their fan base. I truly believe the only thing that makes Arsenal allowed in the conversation of being the big club is the size of their fan base. They do have a huge fan base.
Yeah.
They have a proper big fan base. And of course, the size of your fan base plays a part in how big you are as a club. That's a fact. So that's one of the reasons they're allowed to get in the conversation. But if you take away their fan base, how would they ever be allowed to be involved in the conversation for being an elite club with no European history?
So can I ask this?
I don't know, man.
Can I ask this? If City owners have bought Forest, can Arsenal could have talked to Forest right now?
Not if Forest had gone on and won the 7 or 8 leagues that City have done. Probably not, because I've heard Man City are only they're only 5 trophies behind Arsenal anyway, or something like
in
that.
total. In total, 5 trophies away from them. Yep.
Like, how can Man City only take a decade to make up your entire trophy haul? That's crazy.
That's what wasn't Gunnar Lee's comment did not make sense. He's talking about, we don't care about these Carabao Cup and this FA Cup. We worry about, bro. Your what they call your cabinet is very dusty right now. You got City catching up, and you worried about the big two that is.
You want to know what makes me laugh as well? You can kind of go back to City as well with the European Cup, and you can go, okay, you've won it as many times as Feyenoord and Celtic.
The only thing with City is if they continue to be allowed to do what they're doing, we know they'll eventually have 3, 4, 5 of them. That's the only thing. So we kind of have to laugh at them now in just in case, because if they don't get charged, they will go on and win 2, 3, 4. Like Chelsea even did it. Remember, we kept laughing at Chelsea because they weren't going to get across the line, and now they've got 2 of them. Do you know what I mean? So
we need to make sure that we stay in there because we'll always knock them out.
Yeah. We just need to go and get a couple more so that people just can't catch us. Because I don't want to be having a conversation in 10 years and someone else has got 7 and we're like, bro, I can't believe we're not the leading English clubs in the Champions League anymore. What the hell's going on?
We should have.
We're ahead of Barcelona. We're ahead of Barcelona in Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
And
Milan and Madrid are the only teams ahead of us, right?
Yes.
Milan's on 7.
Milan's got 7.
On 13.
And then we have the same with Bayern has 6 too, right?
Bayern's
got 6 as well.
Yeah.
Listen,
Madrid's on 15.
All we know is that if we get to a final, we just can't be against Madrid because Madrid hasn't lost a final since 81, and that was against us. If there's any team that would beat them in the final, would be us.
Mate, I'm telling you, Real Madrid. I think they've hired witch doctors.
Somebody's
feedback.
Yeah, it's me, guys. It's me. Give me a sec. I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, give me a sec.
No, I was gonna say, look, if you want to talk about perspectives, look at this perspective in the sense of the only teams that we've actually failed to beat, or whenever you put put Liverpool's name into a conversation, the only team that we are in a conversation with is possibly one of the greatest Premier era teams of all time in City, and you have Real Madrid as being one of the greatest Champions League, era teams of all time. You can't say that for a lot of other clubs. A lot of other clubs don't come up into those conversations. That's unique in itself. Even this year, you might say we had a bad year. I get that, but if you really look at it, we lost to the FA Cup champions, right?
And Europa champions.
And we lost to the Europa champions. So it wasn't like we got beat by some scrub or got knocked out of the competition early, like Manchester United or something like that. It's not that. That's not the case. I mean, I think that should bring some type of perspective to your conversation when you're having it. But often, they're not going to allow for those narratives to be brought into it.
That's really interesting, because if if you just think back to when we got Klopp, so we lost the Europa League in the final. Yeah, so we lost to the winner. Then we lost to the winner because it was a final again in the Champions League. Then we won it. Yeah, and we lost to the winner again. Then we lost to the winner again.
Right.
And then we were out completely. Then we win in a competition.
Yeah.
And then we lost to the winner again. So yeah, that doesn't make me feel any better. To be fair, we keep on losing, but we lose to the winner. Yeah.
Honestly, question.
It does. It does. But tell me real quick, Barnes. Does it not feel like it doesn't? No one wants to come up second. No one wants to be second.
Yeah,
I get it.
I was gonna say that.
But at least when you do know that you lost to the champion. You didn't lose to a runner-up, or you didn't lose to some loser team in there.
Oh, actually, one time because the one that we got beat with Real Madrid, they lost to Man City. Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one where we got beat 5-2 at home, and then we didn't. They didn't win the Champions League that year, did they?
No, and the year they beat us to Chelsea.
The year we had the 2-0 lead, and then they ended up coming back and
Here's a question from Honesty. Ajax 1995 Champions League winning team or City's champion winning team, because that Ajax team was different. I go on the 95
Ajax team. That team was unstoppable, man.
Was ridiculous.
That team was unstoppable, man. City last year, you could say they were not the best City that we've seen before.
Agreed. They would not be able to beat that 95.
Nah, they can. Team. I don't care who's the manager. Yep, you're right. That
with Stature, Edgar Davids, Ruud Gullit, all of those men in that squad. Nah, not happening. Not happening.
What was it? The guy who went to Arsenal.
Then they had both the Laudrups in that team.
Yeah, he was in that team too.
Kanu was on that team, man.
Kanu was on that team as well.
Man, yeah, 95.
That team
was a team.
Nigerian Kanu.
Seedorf was on that team, yeah.
Jesus,
yes.
Aaron Winter. What a team that was.
That's a team. That's not even individual. That's a team. That's what you call a team. Every player was talented. Just like the 2005.
Lost one game all year. One.
One question for you guys, right? So back then, right, the Dutch team was solid, never won nothing, right?
Yeah.
England's golden generation was crazy. When you sit down and go player for player, right? Which team was more of an underachiever?
Netherlands.
The Dutch team back then or the England one?
The Dutch team.
I think it's the Dutch team. We did quite well with Venables, didn't we? And Sven, we got to a couple of
people don't understand how crazy the Dutch team. They never won a World Cup or Europe.
They didn't win anything.
No, that team was it's crazy, But the teams that we have lost to in the Champions League.
It must have really hurt the Dutch as well, because when they had an incredible generation,
they don't do
Denmark won a trophy.
Yeah. Or even Greece.
Yeah.
And Greece.
Yeah. That's the other one. Greece as well.
Yeah. That's got
you wonder why they talk the crap that they do on all their current Dutch
players.
Their
problem, 12 man. That's their problem. They hate on themselves. It's ridiculous.
They sound bitter as hell.
And some of those players don't need to sound bitter, because you got Marco van Basten. I don't want to use the R word on him, but bro, you played in a AC Milan team that was probably one of the greatest team of all time ever assembled. So is Radkar. He doesn't say much. What's his name? Gullit. Sometimes sometimes he's a freedom fighter, and sometimes he hates on the same people who look just like him. It never makes sense to me. But yeah, that Dutch, they are the most underwhelmed great team ever.
You know who was on that 95 team too? Frank Rijkaard.
Yep. When he left the AC Milan, right?
Yeah. That team was different, man.
But also,
Crazy
we were
thing
talking about the
Dutch
finals,
team.
right?
Chris is not here now.
The crazy thing about that Dutch team, half of those players are managers.
Yeah.
How many of those players are managers?
Yeah.
You just said.
Yeah.
All of
What,
them.
what's happened to Rijkaard, man? What happened to Rijkaard? Like,
You know,
after
that's-
Barca, he was vanished.
That's the good question. After Barca, he was done.
Yeah.
And personally,
dropped off.
I think he had one of the best. Pep Guardiola's team was sexy. They play well. But that
Rijkaard was
Ronaldinho, Eto'o,
really good.
that
Young
team,
Messi.
oh my God.
Rijkaard had Eto, didn't he? He signed
Yep.
Eto and that.
Yeah.
They scored
That was
so
it.
many goals, man. They were untouchable. But you know, Liverpool only lose to the best teams in the Champions League. Two teams that we lost to, Real Madrid and AC Milan. That's it. 2007, AC Milan was the last of their generation of that 2005 team.
That was
So that was a
one-man
great
show by
team still.
Kaka. Remember that?
What's
Kaka
that?
one-man show.
Oh yeah, Kaká, that guy was. But even then, we lost what, 2-1?
Yeah, it was Kaka. Both goals on it. Didn't Harry Cool play in that?
Did he play 2007? I don't think he did, you know.
Or did he? I think Harry Cool.
Harry
like,
Kuehl?
he got injured in the first 10 minutes. Of that
No,
game.
that was 2005, man.
Was it the one before?
Yeah, I think 2005 is 2005. He came, did he come? No, he didn't come on. Yeah, 2005 he started, and I was pissed. I'm like, why are you even starting this guy? He's good, but he's been injured all season.
Yeah.
Why are you even starting him? Yeah.
No, that team 2005, man. That team, it's.
Here's a question from Brody. Hearing you guys talk about all these great teams and players from the past, do you guys think we use the term world class far too easily nowadays? 100%.
110,000%.
Yeah.
That word gets thrown out there too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's good though? There's not a lot of other channels that can actually have this conversation.
That's
because this channel's a world-class channel.
Yeah, because we can just have lots of conversations around lots of finals.
Now, we were talking about Arsenal fans earlier. They are notorious for this. We could be talking about great players in certain position, right? And they would do their best to force one of Arsenal players to be in there. Yeah. And I'll give you an example. There was a show where Turkish was in there, and they were talking about the best goalies, and this guy mentioned Raya. I'm like, just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. We know you're doing well. Raya is playing well, but we're talking about the best goalkeepers at that's why the question comes from. World class, right?
I will make an argument though to say that it is a little easier to possibly say world class because I don't think really ever have you been able to actually be able to see different types of games from all over the world. So it's a little bit different. Like you can say world class because they're like actually accessible, like as in not many. There was a time when I couldn't really watch that many Premier League games on television. I would be lucky to get the game of the week or something like that.
12 men. Your argument, don't you think it's the other way around? Because if social media was alive when those players were playing, what do you think we would call them? Galacticos?
Well, no, because now you have because of. Oh, I'm sorry, I was going to say just.
What you classing as world class though? I just want to bring this up because I think this would be a great conversation.
I get that.
Like
no,
are you classing being in the Ballon d'Or list? Are you classing winning titles and cups, or are you classing international status?
Or even the quality of the league.
World class. Yeah.
Or the quality of the league as well, I think needs to be added in that one, Yeah.
But the reason why I'm offering this out as being being able to be accessible is because there was a time when, before video games especially, that most people didn't know who these players were in a lot of these leagues. Like you weren't even able to have a real grasp of, oh, well, he plays in the Turkish league. well, I don't necessarily follow the Turkish league in 2000 or 1987 or something like that. But yet now, because of video games, because of social media, because of the internet that we're on, we're able to see a lot more of these, have a lot more accessibility to say, oh, well, I can say I didn't necessarily watch it or play in that era, but I understand that.
But back then, you had to do it for your club and do it for your country. And most of the time, when we heard about you, you were doing it for your country. Because we're watching the Euros, we're watching the Copas, and we're watching the ultimate World Cup. You see what I mean? Nowadays, because there's so much money in the club side, it has turned a little bit, and the only nullifier is the World Cup. That's why, as great as Messi was,
I get that.
The real fans were like, until he wins the World Cup, he doesn't sit on that table of greatest of all time.
But can you understand why I
understand that. Yeah, I get that.
Understand why people utilize or say world class so often is because you might be, again, I'm just referencing. Whenever I talk to like my younger cousins or my nephew, they'll bring up a player. Some players sometimes that I don't even know, but they know it because they played on FIFA or they played in the video game. Yeah. And I mean, like, and they'll be like, oh yeah, he's great at this and he's great at that and all these different little things. And I'm just like, oh wow, I didn't know that. And you're doing, I'm like,
I'll tell you what.
You're like, no, they understand it from
because the footballer has become a brand. It's all about branding.
Can I start us off? So who's world class in the Premier League now? Like, how many players?
First of all, for you to be a world class, you have to be doing it for between 3 to 5 years at that level, consistently.
So is there any in Arsenal's team right now?
No.
What world class players in Arsenal's team?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, let me ask you this: is there anything higher than world class? Is it world class? Is the epitome, right? There's nothing higher than world class.
Elite. I think elite is
above world class, right?
Legendary.
I'm not a fan of the Gooners, but Saka is a world class talent.
No, he's not world.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's not world class yet.
He's not.
I think Odegaard is probably is the closest one to being world class in that team.
And he has to do it 2 more years for me. You can't just do it 1 year and all of a sudden not. That's what I'm saying. That's why everybody. Oh, he had a great season. Okay, do it again. Then you are in that.
Like Odegaard is a world.
Can I rebuttal?
Go ahead, bro.
I actually think Declan Rice is probably world class. And the reason why I say it is he was the standout player for West Ham, like for a long time.
That's a big point. That's a big fish in a small pond.
He's also won European competitions as a player and had major.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Because and the thing is with Declan Rice,
Arsenal, they have gone a lot higher.
Exactly, it's the impact that he has had, which also you have to think about that. That's why I was having this big debate with this what's his name? Somebody online on Twitter, and it's this Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo R9 thing, right? They said, oh, he wasn't world class, right? They're saying that he wasn't really world class.
They never won football.
Yeah, but the thing is, but to 12th man's point though, right? It's that marketing machine, right?
Yes.
Like, unless you paid attention to football seriously, you would never truly know about the guy, right?
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That consistent people just like to blur that word because that player is playing very well, right? Even right now, if we were to have a serious debate, people will be questioning Vinicius right now because yes, Vinicius is great. But this year, he's probably the best out of everybody. But has he done the same thing last year, the year before? No. Declan Rice is a great player. We can give him that. He's a very, very, very good player. But you start throwing world class, then I want to see that whatever you came out you saying.
So what's below world class then?
Nah, man. Declan Rice is world class, man. I would even argue that one.
I'll give you that. But I want to see that world class in the Euros.
In the Euros, like you're going to see in the Euros.
All right.
As well.
Barnes.
World class right now. You would have
Quasi.
Yes.
He's been in the England team And since he's been in the England team, we have consistently got to semi-finals and finals.
And you said that's because of him, or he just happened to be in a team that is great.
I think that's a huge.
Was he in the team that lost to Iceland?
Like West Ham got to 2 major finals with him in the team. Like, look,
I will stop. I will not argue with that. I watch the Euro. I watch the Euro
Rice fan here,
because this is the thing. This is the reason why I said this, right? Because if you say Declan Rice, then I'm pulling somebody like Seedorf. I said, does he sit at the same table as Seedorf?
No, but Seedorf is elite. Seedorf is elite.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When people start,
world class, he's elite. He above world class.
Yeah.
Right? But you see, Burns, this is the thing about world class. One quick question, 12 man, please. The reason why I say when you are world class, that means you are in that level of getting close to a generation player where it doesn't matter which generation we put you in, you are still a baller. You might not beat Maradona, but if I put Messi in Maradona's world, he's still probably going to be there about Messi that we know about right now. So when we say world class, that's why I say consistency is a very important to not just saying a one-off year, he's world class. Yeah, he has given us a world class season. I'll give you that. Is he going to do the same thing next year, the year after that, 5 years straight? Is he going to do that? That's what I'm saying. You could give him the great player. You could probably say he's the best DM if he is a DM, the best DM in the league. I'll give you that. But just like 12 man, and then the question was saying, that world class, it's a gold medal. The next level is elite, which is a diamond.
I'll give you a brilliant stat on Seedorf in case you didn't know. He's the only player to win 3 Champions Leagues with 3 different clubs.
I'm just saying, but hey, I'm just saying. And
if there's
4 Champions Leagues
that has not seen
thank you, guys.
Seedorf play football.
Was it 4 clubs, guys?
No, 3 clubs, 4 Champions Leagues.
4 Champions Leagues. Yeah. The stat was 3 Champions Leagues.
Seedorf was different gravy.
Bro.
Different gravy.
And even this, the reason why I'm amped about this world class talk is because it's annoying. I was literally on my TikTok. For some reason, I'm getting a lot of Zizou's highlights, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm embarrassed because I forgot how great this player was. And
but the thing is,
just say, "Oh, this person is the greatest player of all." People, go watch Zizou. You just know him because you think he's bald and he was just a coach. Go watch him and then start comparing those people you call world class now and see if they sit at the same.
The thing is what you got to realize is world class now is not what world class was back in the day.
So now we dumbing it down. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Thing is, I agree
with that. Yeah.
Because the thing is, and there's a difference between world class and generational as well. Because there was a lot of world class players back in the day. Like for example, if you just go strikers, for instance, Shevchenko was world class, but R9 is generational.
Yeah,
that's facts. I agree with that.
So,
Batistuta was world class. R9 was but he wasn't elite or generational.
That's why I'm old school, so I tend to people say, "Oh, this person world class." But like, bro, you could have a world class season. I'll give you that, but you have to do it consistently. That's what makes Messi so crazy because this brother did it for 10 years straight. It's never been heard before. Right?
But Messi would be in the generational conversation.
Yeah, he's on a different table. He said
I heard people asking about Bellingham. Is Bellingham world class? What do you fellas think? I think it's too soon for me to put him in that category.
That's exactly what my point is. He's having a world-class period. Let it be consistent. Because
I think he's a little bit overrated
right now. He is getting there. He is eventually going to be there. But let him do 2-3 years. He takes England to the semifinals. And also, people need to understand, just because you're a world-class player and you don't win is a failure. If you, just like K-Mac was saying, you take somebody to the semifinals or the finals, that is a world-class talent that you did. Sometimes you're going to lose. Not everybody win. Liverpool had no business standing on that field with that 2005 AC Milan. And guess what? We beat him. So a lot of times, I think the banter sometimes takes.
We didn't have any world-class players in that team.
There you go. See, that's what I'm saying.
I mean-
Sometimes the conversation and the banter takes the realism out of what
What,
the
in the
argument's
05
supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
What
you're
is he
right.
asking?
I
We had
think
Jimmy
Gerrard was on the
Traore
verge.
on the
No, he was
pitch.
getting there. He was getting there. I
Stevie
think-
G was on the verge.
Yeah,
he was on the
getting
verge,
there.
but he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there
wasn't
yet.
there
I
yet.
think after that, he arrived. And then he cemented it in 06 with that FA.
I would say
Against
probably
West Ham.
our best player in that team was probably Didier Mann, like as in what had done the most.
Mhm.
Like he was probably our star player.
Yeah.
He was on the bench.
He's probably the most decorated.
Yeah,
at the
and he was
time.
on the bench. Like we were 3-0 down and we brought him on. Hey, go on, lad.
Yeah, come on. They've done it
go
for
on,
what,
change the
6,
game.
7 years? Come on, that's too easy. Give us harder questions, honesty. Come on now.
Cruz or Modric, world class or elite?
I
World
think they're
class.
both elite. Like both elite.
If Modric had won the World Cup, I would have put him in
You
the
guys, are you guys putting elite over world
World
class?
class. He got,
Yes.
he got
Yes.
some world-
Oh, I do it
final.
the other way around.
Elite to me, you have to be the top 3 in your position.
Hasn't,
That's how I
hasn't
see
Cruz
it.
won the World Cup? Wasn't he
What's
won
that?
the
Yeah,
World
he
Cup?
has.
Euros?
With
Toni Kroos
Germany.
won the World Cup, yeah, Germany.
Yeah,
With
he's
Germany,
world
yeah.
class. He's world class. And he's won
2014.
5 Champions Leagues or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's world
Guys,
class.
with me, with elite, when I say elite, you are between 1 and 3. No, 3 players in a specific position, right? Like right now, Alisson, to me, yeah, he is world class, but he's getting to that elite because he is probably the top 3 goalkeepers in the world. Who can challenge him? Courtois and who else? You see what I mean?
I don't know. I think world class, just the name world class, for me goes above elite because it's world class.
Elite, the word elite, though. Elite, usually you are
World
I
class
don't-
would sound better than elite.
I don't
Okay,
think
so
Ali's
let's take
elite,
elite
yeah.
and put
I don't
generational
think
players.
Ali's elite.
Elite is elite. Like when you're elite, nobody can challenge you.
I think
quite
you
often.
go. I think it goes elite, world class, then generational. As in generational's top.
Nah, I never heard of that one before, but hey, whatever, man. Like where would you put where would you put what's his name? Dennis Bergkamp. Based on that, then is it Gags or Gigs? What?
Guys.
Yeah.
Nah, not gigs,
Yeah.
man. I'm not that. I'm not that. I'm not that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I wear glasses, man. I'm on my phone, so I can't see the names like that. Go ahead. Where would you put him then, based on your criteria?
Elite.
Bergkamp is special,
I
man.
don't want to diss more Arsenal players.
That guy was
Bergkamp.
special. That guy was
Not elite.
special, man. I ain't gonna lie. That guy was
Not
special.
elite. I don't even think he was world class. You know, he scored some brilliant goals.
What?
He didn't score a huge amount of goals, by the way. Like, everyone
Bergkamp?
talks about him being like this incredible goal scorer. He didn't score that many
Burkett
goals.
Burkett wasn't good on the international level. He won nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
he didn't
true.
travel.
I think for me, he's the best 10 to grace the Premier League.
He couldn't fly. He
Okay.
used to get the bus.
Wow, I'm shocked. So wait, hold on. Like, so you're saying that Bergkamp you don't rate Bergkamp? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I rate him, but I'm not putting
He's
him
not
in.
world class.
I'll put him as Gags. I'll put him at elite. I
Elite,
won't put
yeah.
him at world class.
On Gags.
No, I put him world
Wow,
class.
so you put him 3 tiers down.
That's
So
two
generational talent, world class, and then elite, right?
I'll put him in
In
elite.
descending order. And you put
Yeah.
Bergkamp as elite.
Yeah.
I put him world class, by the way.
No way. Yeah, I'm putting him world class, man.
He didn't do
No
anything
way.
on the international stage. I can't put him in
I
world
mean,
class.
the man was clutch, bro. Just the clutch, like mad clutch.
But you say world class, that means you have to do it in the world stage. You can't just do it in your
He
club.
did it. Semi-final against Argentina. Semi-final in the World Cup. No, what was it? Quarterfinal against Argentina, yeah?
And he lost.
Was that
They
goal,
lost.
wasn't it? Was that volley?
What are you talking about? He put them. What are you guys talking about? The
What
goal
year?
of
What
the
year you
World
talking
Cup,
about? What
Was
year?
that that goal?
1998. Ronald de Boer or Frank de Boer crossed the ball all the way across to Bergkamp in the box, sat the guy down, and then half volleyed it into the top corner in the last dying seconds. That's an elite. That's a generational moment. That's like watching Zidane's
You just
left
said
foot
it.
volley.
That's a moment.
Moment. You just
You
answered
said
the
it.
question.
That's a moment.
So,
He
So
didn't
Joe-
do it consistently,
so
though.
Joe, Is
Yeah.
Origi world class?
Absolutely not.
Who?
Sorry?
Well, these moments.
Origi's moments are generational, man.
Moments.
I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody
No, we're
says.
talking about on an international level. We're talking about international level, man.
Okay.
Nah, but Origi's a cult hero, man. He's not world class.
He's not world class.
I'm just jesting.
But
all right?
Barnes, I
Let
was
me-
going
let me-
to say,
before you
I'll
move
tell
on.
Barnes to just pull Craig Archibald's comment, and then Tolman, we will discuss that later. Tolman, go
I'm
ahead.
actually
please.
annoyed, Joe, because you cleaned your house and mine's dirty.
Go ahead, 12 man.
Go ahead, Tolman.
Yeah, that's that's a good segue, because like basically, I think where you guys are missing the point is that world class. I get that you're saying world class. If you're going to look at his entire catalog, okay, I understand that. That could be a world class player. He was a world class player for his entire catalog, but you can be a world class player you have a world class player in a season, like as in there are top 5, like as in to be considered top 5 in the world at your position would technically most likely constitute you being looked at as world class. So if you're a top 5 defensive midfielder, you're the top 5 striker in the world, then yes, you should be deemed as a world class talent or a world class player. And
You answered it right there. I think you answered it right there, Tolman. You said world class talent. The idea is, yes, for that season, we'll give you that. But the next season, if you don't do it, then are you still?
You can fall out of the world. But that's the thing, is you could fall out of that world class category by your performance next year. Yeah, is like if you fall off horribly, are you going to say, oh, he's not world class? Look, there are some world class players that have not really won any, like as in, let's just say for major championships, like Maldini is referred to as one of the greatest defenders of all time, right? We can all say he's world class, right?
He's
generational, mate.
Generational talent, absolutely.
He never fall off. That's the thing.
The man never won the World Cup. You could hold that.
Yeah, he did. He won in 06.
No, he did. He wasn't part of the team.
He wasn't a part of that team.
No, but he's part of the squad.
Maldini didn't win the World Cup.
Was he not part of the squad?
He didn't go. Yeah,
sure
they asked him, and
he played in 4 cups from 1990 to 2002, but never won.
But 12 man, let me ask you this: when he's playing at those world stage, is he still the same guy from AC Milan?
No, Socrates, Brazil. For my Brazilian fans out there, Socrates, great world class player, okay, but he played in 2 World Cups, but never won.
But that's what we said. But I think
world class.
Yeah, but that's the part. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's what I was talking about earlier.
I mean, if you're saying that, then no England players world class.
Because what I'm trying to get across is that I think they're world class, but yet there's certain criteria. Every time you guys are talking,
but there's levels though. You have to put levels in.
But when you're talking about these players, you're also talking about their team accolades, being a part of their accomplishments. And I get it. There's certain things that we can put into that equation, but for some of these players, yes, they are world-class players because they were phenomenal in that year that they played, or whatever season or campaign they're in. They were phenomenal. Like as in Klose, I think he's an incredible world-class player, but some people won't put him as a world-class player, But he also has he has World Cup.
Liverpool 1920 team. Liverpool 1920 or even 1819. How many world-class players in that team?
And say one more time. Oh, in the 2019-2020 Liverpool team?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, or 1819. How many world-class players were in that team? Based on what you just said.
I think it was only Virgil. I think when we won the Champions League, that's when they solidified themselves as world-class.
I think Salah was world-class.
I think he was getting there.
But he'd already done it. It was done it for 3 seasons, though.
Are you talking about after we've won the Champions League?
No, we went to the first Champions League loss.
So Champions League, then the league.
The first loss, the first final loss, and then the win.
And
so
the league.
He's asking
and
the first loss
and the league.
Yeah.
I reckon we had 8 world-class players in the team.
We did
8.
No.
Yeah, 8.
Nah, not 8. Not 8.
I don't think. No.
I reckon we had the best left back in the world in Andy Robinson back then. He was the best in the world back then.
Okay. And Virgil.
Who are you putting ahead of him? Like Ashley Cole, like
Ashley Cole was
Marcelo,
retired,
like
right.
you know what I mean. You're not really putting anyone ahead of him.
But okay, can we
Trent.
also
Trent was
can
the
we
best.
can we also
Then
put
you've
this
got Ali
caveat
was
there?
the best. You got Virgil was the best.
Yeah.
You've got. I mean, Mo
But have
Salah,
they done, how many years have they done it though? That's the question.
Bobby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so
hadn't done
even
it for a long time.
I'm in agreement with what dude say. I'm sorry, man. I can't even see your name. Wait, hold on. Let me just zoom in a little bit. All right. Like, dude with the long hair. So, what's your name, bro?
K-Mac, Chris.
K-Mac, yeah, Chris.
K-Mac.
Yeah, but what K-Mac's saying,
I mean, he's got long hair
agree.
as well.
I know. I didn't know if you're talking to
yeah.
me or talking to K-Mac. That's why I didn't know. Yeah.
He's got dreads right down to his feet.
No, I think like with what I agree with what you're saying, but just based on the context of the discussion of what we consider to be world class, that would then bring down the list of world class players significantly. Only maybe one or two, based on this criteria that we're making up on this show tonight.
No, but didn't we have 7 players in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or that year?
That's like when we won.
Wasn't there like?
But isn't this supposed to be consistency on an international level as well?
That was the following year. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. The first year that we went to the final, a lot of the players were getting there. They were very close. I would say Virgil and maybe Robo, right? And then when we won it, we basically clean house, right?
Like
and then the following year, we definitely
like, with all the Ballon d'Or nominations, like
we were like 6, 7 of us were in there.
We literally had probably 6 or 7 of the best players in the world in those positions.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep admitting your boy Alisson. I thought you. I mean,
no, Alisson. After when we won the first Champions League, that's when it was happening. Because before that, you had Balak and you have
perspective.
Yeah.
With what
in 2019, 2020,
you can have a world-class season.
Yeah.
You could have, Alisson, I think when we won the league, that's when it was like this guy's 1 or 2 above everybody else. But this is why I wanted to make it clear, because I think 12 men agree with us, but one thing that he hasn't gotten there, there are certain players who are world-class who haven't won anything, right? They could be in the room, but if Raul and R9 are having a conversation, they're both world-class. But R9, I'm sorry, R9 is going to tell you, you go sit at the other table because I'm here with that. I don't care how many goals Raul have scored. R9 is just going to tell you, hey, my brother, I will see you at the Bernabeu next week, but me and Pele and Maradona is going to have a conversation right now. I'll see you later. That's what I'm saying, right? There are levels to everything. We have to agree with that.
I mean, there's going to be cases where, like, for instance, you know, Ronaldo is going to be deemed as one of the, you know, obviously world class and one of the greatest of all time. But like, he's also on a team that will possibly not ever win the World Cup. Okay, or at least in our lifetime.
They won the Euro though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
they won the Euros, so they won a European competition.
He did it. He was on his
So
side.
I mean, like,
that's much won the Euros.
So then, like, you know,
Yeah, but 12 men, you can't fault. Okay, Messi,
Lewandowski. Put Lewandowski in that conversation.
That's what I said. He will be
won some great competitions with. I understand with Bayern Munich or
Dortmund, Barca. I mean,
right, exactly. Some great club competitions, but he's never going to win world internationally.
That's why I say he's welcome to the BBQ. But setting table is for man and them. You know, Messi did a lot of great things. Messi did a lot of great things. But my friend, when he came to Ronaldinho, R9, Zizou, Maradona, Pele, they were just waving at him, saying, "What's up, shorty?" Until he won, then he sits at the table and say he could bring whatever to the table.
I agree with that.
Tells the Latin that he can't sit at the table.
I mean, even he knew that. He knew I had to win something.
That's what I want you to do.
How big is that table, by the way? How many players is that?
It's few, man. And even that table has levels. Even that table had level because we have one player who has 3 World Cups.
Yeah.
Everything has levels. There's levels to everything.
Like,
there's levels.
You're saying World Cup, but look at that comment below, though. Look at the comment below, though, guys. You mentioned in World Cups, but hey, there is some guys of average dudes.
Hey, I happen to
got
be
a
in the
World Cup
team.
medal, man.
That's fine. I happen to be in the era where Maradona won the World Cup by himself. I'm sorry that I was part of the team.
There was some average players there as well.
Exactly. I'm sorry to be part of the team. But there's one guy apparently was the best out of everybody else. You can't have 10 Maradonas in a team, right? I mean, 2005.
You have to put Messi there now.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's what I'm saying. He's sitting at the table now. He's sitting at the table.
There.
Yeah, he's sitting at the table. He's having a conversation, but Pele is asking him, okay, this is one, right? That's very cute. That's the other two. Now what?
Yeah. But Messi can
but
turn
not
around.
many people
Pele,
have
where's
three
your
World
Champions
Cups,
Leagues? Messi can look at Pele and like, what do you want in Europe? Like, what do you want in leagues in Europe?
Yeah, but at the time, Brazil's league was also considered one of the best at the time. So when he was at Santos, he was winning all these big trophies. That's the thing that a lot of times people. This is the part where I always get a little bit annoyed with people who watch EPL. They think just because you play EPL, you should be automatically world class. No.
Wazi.
I'm just saying.
No,
just because,
there's an argument there, Quasi, man. There's an argument there because, like, when I think about, I want to go back to R9, my favorite player ever. I always talk about him, right? When he was doing what he was doing in Serie A against some of the most toughest defenders on the planet, week in, week out, that is a huge factor as to why he is at that level. Because let's face it, he didn't have consistency. He didn't have a long career. But who he did it against and at the level he did it against is what puts him there, right? So if you're
look what he did in the World Cup too.
Yeah, of course. But you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing with Henry. You could say the same thing with Henry too, though.
Yeah,
right?
Henry, yeah.
Right.
Henry
he was playing in the Premier League when defenders were really defending. It wasn't no little touch thing.
What are you saying? Are you saying that the EPL defenders was weak? What are you saying?
I'm saying R9 at the time was playing in arguably the most defensively hardest league on the planet.
I agree.
Period.
They were dirty.
Henry was doing it at a time when there was significantly harder defenders. Even the refereeing were allowing players to get away with murder, right? He was doing that then. So that has to be a part of the criteria when we say, okay, actually this guy. So now when I'm looking at the Ronaldos and the Messis, unfortunately, based on with that context in mind, I'm like, okay, no, you're great. You are elite. You're really good. But I can't put them at that same table as the Pelés and the Maradonas and the Ronaldos. I just can't.
I agree with you on that one. I agree. Yeah. And that's because I'm old school, so maybe I'm biased to my generation, right?
They're also playing with the Casey, the others, the football and the
back then those defenders were trying to the whole like Maradona was doing hurdles. Like you watch some of the tackles, he was doing hurdles. Like
it's true.
And personally, I think R9 was not protected during his years. The game did not protect him. He was not protected. Maradona was definitely not protected. Oh, they were not to kill him. But Messi happens to be in that generation where players are more protected. But at the same time, you also have to give it to the defenders because the defenders also have to adapt to the new offensive style of football, where now the defenders just don't slide tackle; they read the game, and like you remember Kaiser, if the people who are old enough, or Paulo Maldini, like we were saying earlier. Back then, you had to slide tackle and try to kick somebody. Now you can't do that. So what do? You adapt. That's why, to me, Virgil, I'm sorry, if you are not Paulo Maldini, you can't talk to me about Virgil.
So someone wrote it in the chat. Is Luis Suarez world class?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
Is he elite?
100%.
Based on Gag's elite.
He's higher than elite, so world class.
He's above elite, yeah.
Okay.
I think he's getting close to generational as much as I hate.
And even that save that he did, like that, I mean, that just puts you.
What save?
That puts you up there.
What save? What are you talking about, K-Mac? What save are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That hurts, Quincy. That hurts.
No, he's doing that on purpose. He's doing that on purpose. I guys do it on purpose. Okay.
couldn't help it.
I'll
I'm
call my
sorry.
Ghanaian people to find you.
You know what? You can't blame him. Like, he done what he had to do, man. Asamoah Gyan missed the penalty, period. That's it. You got to let it go, man.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
It's
What do you, what do you guys
You know, it's imprinted. I have a picture of a time and place when it happened and what I was doing. It's like imprinted in my head. It's never left me. It's a nightmare. That is a replay every World Cup.
It's the fact that he does it like that, like behind his head.
Yeah.
He jumps with his head like that.
And
Right, can I ask you guys a question real quick? Like, just real quick, but Barnes, like, with our team right now, our Liverpool team, who is closest to becoming or emerge into the world-class ranking? Who's the closest right now?
McAllister for me. You said get in there, right? So
it would be
McAllister for me.
What do you think about Trent?
Trent is just that talent, though. He's
just generational talent.
Generational talent. It's just the talent.
He has not been consistent enough to put him in that category.
If we win the Euros, well, I think we win the Euros. I do think we'll win the Euros, by the way, because we've been crap lately. So I just think we will win the Euros. That's just typical. And Trent plays in midfield.
I don't think so.
And he has an incredible Euros. He has to be in the conversation because he's won literally everything, like including like the Euros with England. Like,
it's gonna be a beautiful season. I mean, you saw what Germany did to Scotland. It's not gonna be as easy. People think this Euro is gonna be.
So you don't see. So Trent,
like Scotland.
That's a Scotland team with Che Adams at front. Front line.
They're decimated with injuries.
Shout out
they
to
haven't
Watford.
really got any good players to
Germany just got beat by Japan and some other team. They didn't even make it to the next round in the World Cup. So I'm just saying, they don't sleep on Germany. They are those Germany, Italy. They are one of those teams that out of nowhere they just win.
I don't know. I have a funny feeling France are not going to do as well as people think.
You and me.
Why did you say that, Gags?
You and me.
I don't know, man. It's just
something ain't right with the French team. I don't know what it is. They have great talent. They have great talent that's supposed to win. On paper, I think they are the favorite.
I think they just fixed it though because they've got Kante back now.
Yeah, they do.
They've just fixed it. I mean, they obviously drew against Canada, which is a bit nuts because like.
To draw against Canada for sure. That is nuts.
I think Holland might do a lot better than people think.
That is my sleeper team, K-Mac.
That's my sleeper team. That's my sleeper team. Holland and
it's everyone's sleeper team every damn tournament, man. They never do it. They just don't do it.
And the reason why
that's why I never say it, right? I never say when it happened, I'll be like, yeah, that's my but Holland will shoot themselves.
Nah, not under Ronald Koeman. He's a bum, man.
He is a bum.
He's an absolute bum.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't disagree. I think England or Portugal. Like someone's just throw Portugal in there. I think England or Portugal. Maybe even an England-Portugal final. That'd be a good one.
That would be a good final.
England. I'm gonna be honest. England has the hype. England has the hype to win because the players that they have. I mean, everybody already giving them world-class status. They should be winning or being at least in the semifinals or the final. But there's the part where when it comes to the final,
Southgate's going to mess it up for them. You know that. Everyone knows that.
I just feel that the team will do something different because I think we've been there too many times now that the team will go. Fuck you.
This is the part where I think also
they're just going to win it.
This is the part where I think a lot of times England don't have a player like Chiellini. You remember the last Euro? Yeah. What he did to Saka? Those type of players, that's what you need to win championship. And England don't. Maybe Kyle Walker, but I don't think Kyle Walker has that know-how to do that. Holding, man, he should have gotten a red card, but still somehow he stayed in the game. And this guy's like 75 years old.
We need a James Milner, man.
Man, if you say it again, you need to call your lawyer. I'm just saying they don't understand. Sometimes it's not just having the best players all the time. You need one of those people with that,
12 man thinking about Belgium. Nah, man. Well, Lukaku.
Nah. Belgium
Nah,
are finished, man.
They finished. They lost their chance, man.
They had their chance years ago. They
Mhm.
blew it.
2018.
They blew it.
They chose the wrong coach.
Lukaku's going to be one. Lukaku will be in contention for the Golden Boot for Euros.
The Golden Boot of missing chances, you mean?
Well, that German guy's already on 2.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the guy came off the bench, huh?
Fulcrum, whatever his name is. Sounds like a swear word.
Is that a guy from Dortmund, right? That's him.
Dortmund, yeah. Dortmund.
He misses chances too.
I'm about to jump off, man. I got to finish doing some cleaning. But do you know what? I do have one question before I go, though. Like, and a bit of a statement. I'm very pessimistic right now for next season, man. Like, where do you think we're going to land next season? Based on where we are right now, what position do you think we will take up next season?
As a fan, we win in the quad. Realistically, top 3.
Top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it, you know.
Minimum of 3rd and potentially a Champions League or an FA Cup. Seriously.
Yeah.
I think the squad. We have the squad. Going to do really well in Europe. I do. He's got such good pedigree already in such a short space of time.
Tell me more, man. I need my spirits to be lifted because I'm not gonna lie. I'm dejected, man. I've been dejected from last year. From last year when we was just trash, and then this year I said maximum we're gonna win. We're gonna get into the 4th spot is what I thought from last season, and we made it to 2nd. So in my book we overachieved big time. We kind of like Klopp kind of did what Alex Ferguson did in his last league without winning the league. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now I'm worried. I'm seeing all 6th and 5th. I'm not feeling confident. I'm not gonna lie.
Have faith, man.
Okay, so I'll just say something before I go. Okay, just maybe fill you a bit of confidence. All right.
Do it.
I don't see any team, as in squad wise, better than ours that are not 2nd or 1st. As in Arsenal and Man City. Every other team, we've got better players right across the park, better subs right across the park, and we're probably going to sign 1 or 2 more to add to that. Like the crop of youngsters that we've got coming through are incredible. Like how many teams can throw 2 youngsters in, who pretty much 3 to be honest, like 3 youngsters in who've not really kicked the ball in the Premier League, and for them to do that well, that one gets called up for England. One of them's now a regular for their Irish team, probably the best player in their team. And another one is, absolutely cooking in goal now. Like to be able to do that as a club, that you've got to be really happy about that. And the players that we're linked with are the players that are going to be absolute stars, like Lenny Yoro and Michael Elise and Bakayoko and Inacio, and these are the type of guys that are going to be stars in a couple of years' time, and are ready to come into the team and integrate and make us a better team. And the fact that we've still got so many younger players like McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai, Diego Jota's only 26, Trent's 25, Konate's 24. Like honestly, it's. You have to be confident in going into a new season.
Yeah, I take that, man. I definitely take that, bro. I'm taking that one to bed with me tonight, man.
And look at Slot as well.
Think about some good trophies.
Slot wins cups, and Slot does well in Europe. The only person he's been beaten by is Jose Mourinho twice, in a final and in a quarterfinal.
Fair play. I'm taking that.
Hopefully we don't face Fenerbahce.
Is there any news of Trent signing? Because 18 months ago, I was saying this. I was putting super chats into Coppish saying, "Hey, you know what? Like, what's going on with the Trent signing? Has anybody seen any?"
There was a news that he accepted the conditions that they were going to give him. So, but we don't know if it's official.
Bakayoko, sorry. Bakayoko, not Babayoko. He used to play for Chelsea. Sorry.
Yeah, Crab wants him
that's
bad.
Bakayoko.
So Trent signing then, yeah?
He hasn't signed yet, but from one of the rumors that popped up was he had accepted the condition of the new what the new contract is going to be. He hasn't signed yet.
Before you go, Joe, this is encouragement. Listen.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
My manager. What are you doing, man? Fire the DJ.
Idea. I heard the song today a few times, and I you can do that. I have no problem with that. Let's see how the response will be.
That's for you, Joe. Sing it. Sing it.
Hey, man, I hope, man, singing don't get us the trophies, man. It's what happens on the damn pitch. Like we gotta get the right signings. I really need to see what's going on preseason. All of this, we haven't heard nothing from Slot. It kind of it's jarring me. Like, what's your plan, bro?
Nah. That's the whole idea. He's on vacation.
He's on holiday now.
He's on holiday.
He's in Ibiza right now, and I mean, like, if anything, with Slot, like, you have teams that are in on international break. Obviously, whether it's upcoming Copa, with Euros, there's only going to be so much that you would be able to. You're not going to get anything from him right now to like give you a peace of mind segment, I think. But I can say what K-Mac said is spot on. I definitely agree with a lot of what K-Mac says, and I also think that if you look at our team, the best thing I think we can hope for is that we have a big Ange style type of reaction, in that we hit the ground running, play well, don't have any major injuries, obviously. And then hopefully we can even take on the 2018-2019 team that lost in the Champions League. That kind of perspective of knowing how close you got, and when you lost, what it might take, or what it is going to take to get over the line. And hopefully we've learned that next level. A lot of these players have learned this next level, because there's veterans in our team that can get us to that line. But the youth players that we were really, really relying on, hopefully they learn from that experience, the same way that, like, Milner spoke about losing that Champions League meant a lot. There was a silver lining in there that propelled them to win that next opportunity that they had. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, man. You know what? Big up to all you, man.
There you go.
I'll say one thing as well.
Peace, guys. Yo, Bajan, thanks for having me on today, man. I appreciate you, man. For real, I'll be watching you, man. Bless up.
Bless up, man.
Bless up.
On that thing you just played with, where Klopp was singing Arnie Slot, there's a lot of Liverpool fans that thought he was singing his own name. He was singing his own chant, Jurgen Klopp.
Right. He hates his.
I don't even sound remotely the same.
He's definitely not singing this song.
It sounded like he was singing Jurgen Klopp.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how mate is he singing his own name?
That would be awesome. That'd be hilarious.
I got a question though. So say first of all, how many players do you guys think we need to sign this summer?
I say minimum 3.
3 to 4
okay.
for me, but I only think we get 2.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Do you think we'll sign all the players we need to sign, or do you think we'll leave ourselves short like we always do?
I knew you were going to say that, guys. See what I'm saying?
I think this is the part where I think this is where Liverpool fans, we need to start learning that it's a new regime. That was the old one. Now there's a new one. Will this new one do what needs to be done, or just always leave one player short or 2 players short? So we will see. I think this summer is going to be, it will tell us a lot where Liverpool is going in the future.
Finding a
you could say that
replacement.
What's that?
Go ahead, Maddie. What did you say?
What did you say, Maddie?
I said it before, and I am saying it again. A Trent replacement. Everybody who's banking on that cup growth and he's a Liverpool local and stuff, I say again, keep on watching, because even if he may resign, that will have a lot of people rejoicing. That dude is headed to Madrid. And as much people want to talk about what position he's going to play, you will be shocked.
Maddie.
He just had to mess up the mood. Huh?
Okay,
He's
just
been quiet the whole time, and then just throw a smoke.
Too. I like it.
Reality check.
He just threw a grenade in the room.
Too.
Reality.
No, bomba rascal from bomba rascal.
And then when it happens, Bajan, I go be playing David Rudder's song. This is not a fet in here. This is madness, because that's what all you're going to do. All you're going to go mad.
Oh, my days. Maddie, no, come and drop a ball.
Maddie always chooses violence.
I know.
The man came in. We were not even ready to. We are not even ready to defend what he said. I'm like, we were not even thinking that. But no, he makes a good point. We have to real. He makes a good point.
I've been saying it.
We always thought that Trent was trying to get Jude to Liverpool, but maybe
it's the other way around.
Jude's getting Trent to Real Madrid.
Okay, the reason why I think it might not happen is now it has been confirmed that Adidas is taking over Liverpool.
Yeah,
and he is an Adidas boy. So why will you become the captain and you are an Adidas boy and they sponsor your club? Yes,
I wouldn't give him the captaincy though. That's just me. I don't think Trent is mature enough for the captaincy, to be honest with you.
I agree with you. I agree. But for PR purposes,
I don't care about the PR, bro.
I don't think he'll be vice captain next year, by the way.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, K-Mac. When you switch off on the pitch defensively, that's an issue for me.
Yeah,
big issue for me.
I agree.
If you're in a leadership role in anything, any sport, you have to set the example. If you can do that, then you have no right looking at another player and telling him you need to step up. Because listen to you.
You know the funny thing, Bajan, and I know 12 Man wants to jump in and support his boy. He's wearing a number 8. And that number 8, it didn't matter whether we were great or poor. The man did his best to stay at a higher elite level or world class or generational talent. Stephen G should have so many times should have left, but he did not. So that part I agree with Bajan on that part. You can be a captain. Not forget even being the vice captain. You are a captain.
I think you guys aren't recognizing the fact that one good reason why a lot of the youth players on this team even had a glimmer of hope is because their role model, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
So you telling me that they should come in and do the same thing?
Okay, Mac. There you go.
I'm not getting involved in this one.
Coming on, brother.
So 12 Men, you telling me the new model of hero is play when you want to?
No, the new role model for me is Trent. Trent is a role model, first off, because he definitely.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree
Trent
with that.
Trent has definitely. If you ask any youth academy player, almost every interview you hear, they reference Trent Alexander-Arnold in their statements.
They're more than time player.
Let me land. They referenced him in their statements, right? Whether it's Curtis Jones, whether it's Harvey Elliott, whether it was whether it's someone like Bobby Clark, doesn't matter who it was. They reference him in their words and to say he has created an actual pathway towards belief.
He has his own generation
and be a part of this, because you know why? What is the percentage of youth academy players that actually play in the Premier League? Actually, become featured in the Premier League. What is the percentage?
Depends on the club. Some clubs use
I'm talking about the entire league. Because I know this because I have an article.
I don't have the hard numbers, but
why I say that is because of this 5%. 5%. That's a small number, but there's a lot of players out there, and we just saw a lot of youth players from our academy that some people didn't have any prospects of ever playing step up and do so. And a lot of time, those people that they're talking to, the people that are engaging with them, are your Trent Alexander-Arnolds, are the youth, the younger players in that locker room. And considering that Trent has been in that locker room since he was a youth as well, you know, it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. And I'm going to say his last part. I'm going to say his last point.
Yeah.
When it comes to Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think the same thing that I remember I think it was Das or something like that was bringing up the point about trying to not take a knock at Endo about Endo's performance or Endo this or Endo that. And I said, you got to recognize the fact that Trent was arguably one of our best players leading up to that FA Cup game where he got injured, re-injured, actually, I should say. Okay. A player trying to play, possibly shouldn't have never even played, but played because he understood the fact that he had to make an appearance. He had to be the presence on that pitch. And that's what he did. He stepped up and he got re-injured. Now, I'm not trying to advocate that you should go out there and put yourself in harm. That's the differential between you being great or not great. But I definitely think that shows that he's playing for the badge and it means something to him. And all those players see that. He said he's an incredible example, and I'm proud of Trent.
Well, I like the argument you made, but I'm a little bit worried about some of the stuff you use, because the player you're talking about, his person that he values a lot is the number that he's going to wear in Europe, and that's Stevie G. And not at one point did Stevie G felt like, today I feel like playing or not playing. He gave us everything. The man almost lost his leg. Okay, so if you're going to be the beacon of the new generation, then everybody is just going to be referencing you because of how he did it, and he did it the right way. He came through the ranks, played a different position to become one of the best at his position. And then when Liverpool needs you the most, you chooses when and where you're going to be a leader or not. That is what a lot of people are very frustrated with Trent. Yes, we can say the manager gave some instructions where gives him a little bit leeway where he doesn't have to do certain things. I agree with that because the manager said it himself. But just like I referenced what Bajan said, in certain games where we actually see that he is literally giving up, switch off the play. I don't care who says you are my role model or not. I'm starting to get worried about what kind of role model you following. Because guess what? When that badge means a lot to you, you don't choose when and where you switch off. If you get injured, that's a whole different conversation. We can't stop that because that's part of the game. But just like I'm not even going to say what I saw, I'm going on the reference of what Bajan said. You switch off at the point where we need you, where we physically and visibly see some of your teammates frustrated at you for not doing something that you were supposed to do. I'm sorry. Now, let me finish. Let me land. No, let me land. We could say a lot of great things about Trent. Facts. I'm not going to debate that. But when you are a leader, remember, we're talking about leader here, and you are a role model, just like you stated. You cannot choose when to switch off. Stevie G never chose. Let me finish. Stevie G, who also came through the ranks, just like Trent, he came in as a right back, right? And then became a midfielder great. And then all of a sudden, he was playing every position except goalie. Stephen G never chose a time and when he gonna switch off. And fine, Trent is a role model. Just like I said, I agree with you. Trent has a generation that follows it. But sometimes they tell you, hey, vet who your role model is. Because if your role model has some bad behaviors, and that's what you're gonna learn, trust me, you are not your role model because you might not get to that next level.
I think you're being a little bit disingenuous with like saying you can't have an argument. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to pick and try to and chip away from the Stevie G statue. I'm not going to have that argument. So I mean, I agree. Stevie G was a great role model. Stevie G was a great captain. I'm not going to take away from those parts and points. I'm not going to say and try to compare the two and because to try to prove the point against as Trent has great qualities. I'm not going to try to take away from the qualities of what Stevie G might not necessarily offered or it doesn't offer that Trent can offer. But what I can say is, when it comes to Trent has created a definite atmosphere for our youth academy players to have a hope of getting to this level. The part and point of why I said 5% of youth academy players actually get to play, where what he's doing is an accomplishment in itself. And that's what a role model is. Someone that you have a poster on your wall, and when you're a little kid and you aspire to be that. You have someone that shows you that you can actually ask, physically talk to, and be able to understand how the process went for him to get from point A to point B, to be a constant fixture, if not world-class, if not one of the greatest or one of the best in the world or in the league at least. That is a role model that you want to have, period. I don't care.
So let me ask you this:
You might pick and choose a couple occurrences where you weren't proud of his performance or weren't happy with what the result was. But to say he's not a role model, that's
nobody. That's the part where you see. That's where I think you get confused. None of us said he's not a role model.
Confused.
Let me land. Yeah, I got you. But let me land on my point. I don't think even Bajan didn't say he's not a role model. I'm not saying he's not a role model. We're saying his bad behaviors that he does. Let me land talk. The bad behaviors that he does, because you also making it seems like he's the only one who's paving the pathway. Stephen G paved the pathway for Trent to follow. So what I'm saying is this: and then I want you to understand. Nobody's saying he's not a role model. I even said he has a whole generation of talents that are following his path. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna pick somebody to be your role model, you need to be careful who that person is, because if you follow that bad behavior that a person has, you might not reach what your role model, the level that you.
No, wait, hold on.
Let me finish. No, let me finish. Hold
on, I'm gonna ask you to rewind, because you said he's not. You're saying he's a role model, but then you're saying you got to choose who your role models are. If he's not a role model,
let me finish. If you let me finish, you understand what I'm saying. Okay. He is a role model. Gerard is a role model. Trent followed that path, right? We are saying the bad behaviors that Trent has, which is switching.
You're saying you and Barnes.
Me and Bajan said the same thing, and a lot of people said that also. That's one of his things that they always say against it. He switch off, right? And we're saying if you are a role model and you are a leader, keyword leader, a role model is a leader. You can't choose when and where you want to switch off, especially when your team is in need of you, right? And I could make an example where we've seen it in the game where either Virgil or somebody else are looking at him sideways because he did not do what he's supposed to do. Now, I understand sometimes the manager tells him to do certain things that we, the public, don't see or hear, and say, why did Trent didn't do this? And the manager has come out and said, I gave him a different set of instructions compared to the traditional way of playing that position. Now, what I'm saying is, yes, Trent has a generation that are following him because of what he has done and what he has accomplished. I'm saying that to those players that are following him, be careful what you are following, because he has some bad qualities.
That's basically what you said.
No. Let me finish, man. I didn't cut you off. I never say he's not a role model. That's your words. He has some qualities that does not work for the team that he plays for, and we all said it again. And one of them is he switch off. You as a player that are following that trend, be careful, because he is there. You might never get to where he is if you follow those bad behaviors. I don't know how. I mean, Bajan, am I saying it to where I'm not making any sense? Because I'm repeating myself over and over, and I think he doesn't get it.
He is a role model to the youngsters, but he has traits of switching off and doesn't have the desire to do certain things at certain times. That is not good. That is a negative trait that can spill off to a younger player. That is what we're saying. And 12th man, listen, I role models to me, and I'm old, so I will say, as a guy that I don't want to see switching off. I want to see a man where he'll run through a wall. I don't care if he got one leg, he want to run through the wall for the team. That is the guy I'm following. I am not one of those guys that would follow someone that has all this talent. I will credit him for the talent, but he switches off defensively. On many occasions, not just once, he's done it many. It didn't seem like he cared. That is not a good trait to have. That is what we're saying. You cannot be or should not be a captain doing things like that. It shows a weakness, and that could spill into younger players very, very easily.
Well, the whole crux of the picture is, in about a year and a half, they ain't gonna have to worry about that because he ain't gonna be here no more.
He's putting it in the atmosphere.
He was out.
No, you're saying poison in the atmosphere, right? But I'll give you a joke. I'm not in the fashion of calling out people, but it had a certain individual on a certain YouTuber football channel that is quite popular, and his name was Liverpool Blue, right? And I said, literally, almost a year and a half ago to the date, I said, Klopp is not winning any more major trophies or anything like that before he leaves. And I have a picture of it because I'm waiting to catch him when he does appear. And he said, oh, what nonsense you talking, blah, 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 blah. Klopp has left. What major trophies has he won since? So that's what I said. As much as some people don't like to hear the possibility, it's something that you have to deal with. And anybody who is on this chart right now could sit down and say, guess what? 100% I am fate that Trent is going to be with Liverpool for the foreseeable future. Put your name on that and stamp it now. Because when it does not materialize as you see, then what's going to happen? What is going to be the excuse? It's literally when you don't have these possibilities and you go into anything with that 100%, no, never could happen. Boyhood fan at the club, come to the youth academy, he could never leave us and stuff, right? A lot of y'all are saying, Trent ain't gonna get captaincy. Some people are even saying, hey, he might even be VP of the team next year. What do you think happens when all of these things that y'all are saying happens? Right? He's going to be like, you know what? Wait a minute. I was a vice captain. Now I ain't the vice captain no more. Blah, blah, blah. We do look like if we're going to be winning anything for at least maybe 2 years and stuff. You know what? I'm going to go and hang out with my boy in Spain and live up the life. Right? It's a real possibility. And anybody who says that, that could never happen, they are pursuing a fool's goal. End the conversation. They're pursuing a fool's goal. Because I can tell people, I've been in the real stuff in the military. You think we just sit down and say, all right, we're going to be getting deployed to a hot zone. You know what? Shit, them men and them is scrub. We're just going to walk through that shit. You go into that, that's what gets you killed out there. And the thing what I'm saying is, hey, as much as everybody would love Trent to stay, who is going to put their neck on the line and say 100% certainty that kid does not leave within the next 2 years, even if he resigns? I mean, if he resigns on a new contract, because LFC will be just protecting their asset, where Madrid will have to pay money versus if he runs down his contract and Madrid gets him for free, like how they usually get a lot of players now.
I'm not a Benny man, but I'm keeping my money.
So that's so when people be like, "Oh,
Trent listens to socials," and here's Quasi and Barnes talking. Maybe he does go to Real Madrid, but I would say if he hears me talking, he'll understand that the original question was, is he a role model? Role models tend to be players or people that you have some type of, you see play, you have some type of connection to, whether you play with them physically or whether, or whether you play or whether you saw them. Okay, so, Michael Jordan isn't necessarily the role model for some kids that might put Kobe Bryant as their role model. I know I'm making basketball references, but all the same, okay? Or maybe LeBron James is now the role model that they use. And I'm just saying from a sporting aspect. I'm not saying you want to live your life like them, okay? But what I'm trying to get across is he is a very important character to have, or important person to have in the locker room. And I think that you undervalue the sheer fact of Trent Alexander on this team. Because you know why? I read an incredible article about the plight of the black athlete in Liverpool, in the city of Liverpool, the L8 they call it in a sense, because there's all these different sections of Liverpool, and that's like their zip code, I guess, or something along those lines, right? And there's very few players that have made it to the level that Trent Alexander has. And that in itself is a role model, a concept or passion that you should hold. And that's what I'm trying to get across, is that you can have you can pick and say, oh, well, he did this or did that with his he had a time when he turned off or he didn't please me by his play this or this time or that time. I'm trying to get across that he is a very powerful role model to have, because he is a real unicorn when it comes to the path and the player, especially in the region of England that he comes from, that creates a very, very inspirational, and I can say that too, but also someone that you can actually physically connect with if you're that youth player, if you're that player that is growing up. We talk about Pele. Pele's one of the greatest players of all time. Amazing character. Role model, I'm sure, for a lot of people in Brazil, if not the world. But there's people today that are younger than you and me that don't know what Pele even was. And I'm trying to get across is that the reason why he's not their role model is because they have no connection to him. But there is a connection to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and exists, and I'm glad that it does.
No, what I think what Quasi and Bajan and them are saying, 12th, is that you can have Trent as a role model. It's just going to have certain qualities that you're going to take from him due to the fact of, they say, some of his traits where he has come up not given full 100%, that sort of stuff, which, as I said,
yeah,
I could understand that. Right. But I think what they basically were saying, but they just kind of came across a little different, was that you can have youths that you can look up to Trent and stuff, but be careful not to learn everything that you are looking at him as a role model. I think that's what they wanted to say, as in, like, you can look at his accomplishments and how he came through, but it have some of those stuff. You're just going to have to say, well, oh no, you can't embrace it. You're just going to have to eliminate it. I think that's what Quasi and Bajan were alluding to.
That's exactly what we're saying.
I just think that I also think
around him being. Yeah, good night, everybody. Big up.
Good night, my man.
Good evening.
Was the conversation about him being vice captain? Because I hear a role model, and I was hearing about his what they was lack of concentration and focus, and looking at him on the pitch. So to me, that's sort of two different things.
Sure. Well, it was a combination of sorts, but some were saying that they wouldn't give him captaincy, and then some people were saying, like, if it was down to, from their point of view, he wouldn't be like the vice captain either.
That's an interesting prospect. In my mind, I'll tell you this. I figure Trent gets a 5-year extension, and somewhere near there, he's guaranteed that he's going to wear the skipper's armband in 3 years. That's in my mind. And I mean, I'm not in any way connected to the club or anything. I'm just in my head. That's one of the things. But the other thing is this: he's respected in the dressing room. That's why he's the vice captain. Because the players pick the leadership, if I understood correctly. Now that might change under the new manager, but it was you're the man. You tell me who the leadership group is, and that's what I'll work with as the manager or the coach or whatever you want to call it. So Virgil's the skipper, Trent's the vice, Salah, Robertson, and probably somebody else or the others, because it was Millie, it was Handel, it was the same Van Dijk and the same Salah, because they're national captains that were all part of the captains group or whatever you want to call it. Now, if Trent's the vice in and among them, naturally he's going to be the skipper at some point, and that's his dream. Now, whether his dream has changed from where he was when he was a youngster to where he is now, and it's, oh, well, you know, Madrid, when Madrid comes calling, you have to go. Well, you don't, to be honest. You make a choice. If you have that decision to make. Can you fulfill your full potential over there? Will you make the money you want to make? Will all of the things that you want out of the game be achieved if you were to leave Liverpool and go to Madrid? It doesn't always work. Michael Owen left and went, and it didn't work for him. Plenty in the Galacticos era didn't win anything, made a lot of money, but they didn't win anything. They didn't win. They should have won 10 Champions Leagues with the team that they put together for a period of time. They didn't win it. So it doesn't always work.
Right.
So he could sit there and say, you know what? I mean a lot to the city. I love this. And he could also review and say, yeah, you know what? That's not good enough. You see that Everton performance? That could be the performance that in his head is, that's the one that makes me the captain. That makes me the man. Steven Gerrard will tell you that there was a game when I did this. See that game? That was a game that in my head triggered me and said, you know what? You need to stop that. He was very rash. Stevie G was very, very rash as a young player. Then he went through a period where you saw himself saying, well, Stevie G don't even get booked. Because things click at different points in your life. They click. Now, I'm not putting my neck on the block because I don't know Trent. I'm just saying, like, from what you can see, this is what it feels like. He does a lot in the city. He's revered in the city. Revered.
Exactly.
Pop, this what, and this the part where I think people are, like you said from the beginning, people are, you know, Madi explain it. We're not saying, like me, I said in the PRI, he will possibly be captain because Adidas is taking over and he is the Adidas boy, right?
But not even PR though, Cozy. Was he not PR? The five of us are the leaders. Let's say we're the leadership group.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he is the leader.
You're the captain. If we say that you're the captain, that's us saying that. That's not PR or anything else. That's us saying we believe that you're
but
the
this is the reason why I said
the reason why I'm saying.
Yes, but the reason why I'm saying PR because Adidas also can influence him to stay at Liverpool because he is an Adidas boy. He is from Liverpool. You see the storyline where I'm coming. He is from Liverpool. He is Adidas boy. He becomes the Liverpool captain. I think the last person who was that was Stephen G, which is his idol, right? So the whole thing is.
I have a question. Who is Madrid's shoe sponsor?
Adidas too. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Madrid.
I was just about to say, Judas Adidas boy, and Madrid is.
I know, but I was saying that's why I said PR. I agree. I knew Madrid was coming with that one. That's why I said, I said PR in terms of Adidas could sway him, and since he's from Liverpool, that could also keep him there. And he is the captain, like you guys have said. All his eloquent achievement that he's doing outside the field. Also could keep that. I'm saying in the case of him staying at Liverpool, right? Now, the other argument that I think 12 men still don't understand is when you're a leader, you get criticized whether something happens or does not happen. And what we were saying is he has certain concern traits that we said if you are a player and that's somebody you're following, you need to be careful of what you're following because, Trent did get it to this apex. You following him and following exactly what he's doing might not get you there. That's what we say. Because just like you said, Stephen G, he was probably following somebody. Let me finish. Stephen G was following somebody and then he had to think to himself, this part of my game is gonna give me a short life. So I have to change where he becomes the Stevie G that we now love.
Right. I get it. Stevie G gets to make mistakes and is perfect, but Trent
again, that's an emotional context that you're saying.
Has
no
wiggle room for
that's a leadership. That's what's called leadership.
I get it.
You don't get a chance to make. You don't get a chance.
Arnold not be perfect from
fine, but let me finish my point. And when I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. 12 men. You should not make an emotional decision right now. This is what I was saying. Let me finish my point. You were talking, I never distracted. What I'm saying is, as a leader, when you are a leader, everything you do get scrutinized. Am I wrong or right? He is a leader. We know he's a leader. We all agree he is a leader. As a matter of fact, I'm saying because of that, that's what's going to keep him. And then Madi also said that same thing that you're talking about could also take him to Madrid. But I'm also saying when you're a leader, and everybody will know that you are our leader, you can do certain things. That's all we're saying. We're not saying he's not a good leader. He's not a unicorn.
What are you saying then? Just say what you're trying to say. You're just the only thing you just said.
Benjamin, please go ahead because I've said it 10 times and he still doesn't get it. So please go ahead.
Listen.
Don't say it. You can't say it like that. You can't say it like that, Quasi.
Yes, I can say it like that.
I understand the fact that he has in your mind turned off at times.
He has bad traits. But big up Angel, big up bro. Listen, he has bad traits that sets in and it happens many times and you have to call it out. I can give you a proper analogy, right?
Okay.
A proper analogy to break it down for you. Luka Doncic is an incredible basketball player, okay? Phenomenally gifted offensively. Can play defense. I've seen him play defense. A lot of the times, he switches off defensively. It is a trait. And it makes his team liable when he does that. Because now you're playing 5 against 4 on the court at that point in time. When you don't play defense, your defensive, a role or defensive assignment. All we're saying is that there's been many times, there are many times we've seen in games that Trent looked disinterested in playing defensively. That is all we say. It's a trait.
In your opinion,
on the analogy, Barnes, I just wanted to clarify something for me. Is Luka the Mavs captain?
Yeah, he's one of the captains.
He's one of the captains.
He's he and Kyrie, right?
Is he a Kyrie? Okay. They're captain. Didn't want here, want me.
Pop, go back. Okay. Get back in the control room. Get back in the control room, Pop. Get back in the control room.
Who's Kyrie Irving then in that example? Because exactly. He's a captain. He's a role. Is he a role model?
Yes, he's a role model.
He's not a role model.
Kyrie Irving's a role model. Okay.
Yeah, Kyrie's a role model.
Man, you're missing everything, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I asked you a question.
We're giving him his flowers. He is a role model 100%. What he can do, he's a generational talent, but he also has some bad traits with him as too. Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying.
Thank you for that. Okay, so how about you listen to that comment you just said? No one's perfect. That's all If you
but then why are you frustrated when we mentioned the part that he's not perfect?
Work on that. I want to see him work.
That's what we're saying.
Not be like that. It's a trait though because you see it.
Yeah,
and it happens. If it's something that happens one-off, I'm not going to call him out, 12 man. But if it's something you see on many times, you have to call it out, and it's something that he needs to work on.
But then you're saying to me that for someone that many times turns on and turns off, just doesn't care. Do you think that player will be playing for a Klopp team or would have played for a Klopp team? Do you think that a player like that would have been utilized or relied on so much if he's on some nonchalant, I'll decide when I want to play and I'll decide when I don't want to play? Okay, you think that's the kind of mentality, that's the kind of the intensity and everything else that you're talking about that is reliant upon
that's a bit hyperbolic. I think that's a bit hyperbolic. I think that's a bit extreme. That what you just said, it's a yes, no to the response, but it's not a he doesn't care all the time. Right. There are moments you can see.
No. I'm not going to let that go. No. He said many.
But no, you can see.
Wait, hold on. He said, "What if someone told you there's many times that you turn on or off in the games, many times. Yes. Not like once. Not like okay, he had 2-3 times when he wasn't really engaged the way we would have liked to see him engaged. He said many times.
So it happened many times.
As if it's a habitual.
When you hear that, when you
can
hear
I ask another question, please? When you get to that,
many times in one game or many times across the season in a collective.
Season. I'm not talking about the game.
That's what I'm saying. So across the season, if he's done it once each game, it's still many times. That's what I mean. So it's
wait. You're hearing something. I didn't hear your point. I hear your last point. Say it again.
Sorry. Because I think Barnes is alluded to the fact that he's across the season, he's seen it many times. So it's not that there are 100 in a game. It's there are 100 games. So if he's done it once each time, that means it's 100 times. So that's a lot, right?
Wait. If it's once, and
if he's done it once each game,
38 times, 38 games.
He's played 50. Let's say 50. Let's say 50 games. Let's say 50 games, right? 50 games this season, and you can say, well, at least once in each game, you can see a moment. So that's 50 moments, right? That's a lot, right?
Oh no, okay. I understand what you're saying, but I don't.
We're not saying that is the number.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
We're not saying that that's the number.
I'm just asking you when you heard the word many, it's almost like many.
It's like
for you.
The word many
it's only one
like a flame under you for a reason.
This is over a season. There was many times in games that you saw him that he had no interest in playing defensively. None whatsoever. It was plain for the eye to see. You have to call it out. And what I'm saying is that is a trait. If you're in a role of being a leader and you're in the upper echelon and you are the leader or a captain or a vice captain, you should not be portraying or doing those things. Me, as old school as I am, I was a captain of my basketball team. I would never slack off in a game, ever. Because I have guys that I am responsible for, and they're supposed to look at me. If there's something that I did wrong, I would actually call it out myself and apologize to my team. These are things that he can work on. He is still young. He's a generational talent. He's phenomenal. He's a role model. But there are traits in his game that he needs to correct himself. He has to look himself in the mirror and be like, look back at film and be like, listen, this is how I looked. This is how I behaved. This is how I reacted. I need to do better. If he does that, he would take his game to another level. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, oh, I can just let that slide, because those type of things, what I'm saying, can seep in to younger players. It can.
Well, on that point that you're saying, right? And as I said, I'm not neither here nor there, but just talking about the traits, right? This is something that a lot of these so-called modern footballers and analysts go around with. Analytics, right? Mm-hmm. And if you have these things coming up within an analytics expert going through this stuff, that is a weakness that can be exploited at a crucial time that you may not be aware of. Mm-hmm. So in that regard, as I said, and I can attest to this, not in a sporting sense, but in a military sense. And in a military sense, you're always looking for a trait that somebody or a commander or somebody does. And it has that one time when you can use that opportunity to your best advantage. So that's what, as I said, when people say, well, he has some bad traits, which he has, because if somebody is to go back who has the time and the patience to find out each game where he had some of these moments,
I'd like to know those.
It would be worrying, because this is what I say. Once is a mistake, but when two might be a pardon, but when it's a third time, it becomes a problem.
Behavior, yeah.
Right? And as I said, I am the only thing I got to say in regards to Trent is, guess what? He gonna be leaving. Right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, as I said, traits, little stuff where you switch off, as much as this might be only 12's man opinion, it could be many other people who could be like, well, you know what? Or XYZ, they may say, well, hey, it doesn't happen as often as it can, or as it's reported. Problem is, it happens. And that is the thing that people have to understand. It happens. And if it happens, trust and believe me, it's just like, as I said, when we played against Madrid, and Ancelotti could come out and say, I knew what they was going to play all along, so this was
predictable.
That is what we call a trait that people sat down and saw, and they exploited. So, as I said, the thing about it, what a lot of people don't get, and this does not include 12th man or anybody, but there's a lot of these modern day people who follow football. They don't like criticism. And when you can't take criticism, it becomes a problem. And I will tell people this, right? And as again, I will always allude back to my days in the army. The most important man in the military is the doubter. Because people could come up with the greatest plans and stuff, is the man who could poke holes in your plans is the most important person in your strategies. And any 5-star general, whether he's from America or brigadier colonels from London or wherever the country they're from, they always has that guy. Even in politics, you have that guy they call what do they call it, a political whip or something like that. And this is what, as I said, people have to understand, that the weather forecast guy could come up and say, guess what? We're going to have a sunny day, and then in the middle of the day, rain comes and fall. Right? It's not his fault the rain fall, but you can't blame him either, because you just went willy-nilly with what he said. You sometimes have to say, you know what? Maybe I may need to put on that coat or have that small umbrella inside of my bag. Right? So when everything is about preparedness, if you don't prepare and prepare and prepare, it's never going to work. So as I said, like what they're saying with Trent, as in like, hey, he's got his little inconsistencies that has started to create like a bit of a pattern. Some people may not like to hear that, but it's true. It have some players, it have some goalies. Players know which side that they're going to favor most of the time. That's the pattern. That's a trait.
Yeah.
So if it could work for a goalie, why can't it not apply to Trent?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Big up to Honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty got a question. What if Klopp told Trent, I need you to invert and don't worry too much about defending? Ibu will cover that space. Man, them never asked.
Exactly where I was about to go. Big up Honesty.
But didn't I, at the beginning of my at the beginning of my question, I did say that. I said the manager himself came out and said, I gave him certain instructions where we, the people watching, we're looking at it like a traditional position that he's playing, should not be doing that. But the manager says, no, that is me. So that one we already
occasionally probably look like he's turning off.
It could be, but we also have seen the part that
he's not, because he's thinking about the fact that he wants to go forward. He's going. Virgil's going to handle that, or Kanate, or Henderson at the time was going to handle it, or whatever the system was allows for him to cheat and not be so despondent. You talked about a lot of these different things, and I can understand it. I'm not going to criticize and say you're not understanding this or you're not understanding that. What I'm trying to get across is that my conception is that I don't see a lot of Trent turning on or turning off that switch, and especially not many times. I see a player that goes out and is commended by his coach, by his fellow players, as always putting his best effort on the pitch. And you know what else? Now that he's the vice captain and sometimes has to play the role of captain, I also see that guy having a microphone in his hand and taking accountability for the fact that either he messed up or his team messed up. And that's what I see often. And that is the mark of a true role model and a true captain. Okay. Say what you want.
12 man, let me ask you a question. We all agree that nobody is perfect, right? And I was using Stevie G as a barometer. And Pop eloquently said Stevie G's one of his negative trait was he was rash in his tackles. I remember Manchester United, he came off the bench and got a red card. Champions League, we needed him, he gets a red card.
That's a bad example because that was as a big man.
That was later on in his career.
Yes, and that's when he was the big man. Exactly.
That's not good.
Yeah, but that was him at his apex where we like, this is the guy, right? So that trait followed him. So if I were to ask you, what are the negative traits that you see in Trent?
What are the negative traits I see in Trent?
Yeah. Like I just said, for my guy, my barometer guy, which is Stephen G, his negative trait was he was rash in his tackle, which got him a lot of cards, sometimes being sent off. Even at his apex, he did that. So if I were to ask you, because we all agree that nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. Every player has his downsides or concerns or whatever, how you want to say it. Mm-hmm. If you looking at Trent, what are his negative traits that you think that, hey, you need to stop that and work on this?
All right. See 12 man. You see 12 man, right? You see 12 man. 12 man is one of these people, right? And I've seen this a lot. 12 man is one of these people who he watches the narrative, right? Especially against our players. So 12 man will watch a narrative, and 12 man will feel that pendulum has swung too far. So 12 man's responsibility now is to bring the pendulum
bring it back the other way.
He needs to swing equally in the other direction. So he goes even harder, even firmer, even stronger for his guy because what he's hearing from the outside.
As you should.
The first thing that comes to mind, right? When you speak about
how many times do we hear that
Cancelo was the first thing?
No, as you should. As a Liverpool fan, you should do that. Big up to Joe, man. Big up to Joe.
Big up Joe for becoming a member of the channel. Big up Joe. Appreciate it, bro. Big up to Honesty as well.
Honesty, big up yourself, man. Can I give a 12 man? I know you want to say something, but I need to say something about Honesty. Honesty is that dude, man. He supports every Liverpool channel. I got to give you your flowers, man. Absolutely. We appreciate you.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Big up to the chat.
And the chat also, man. People in the chat, I see you.
Very tight. Kwasi, may I say something?
Yes, sir, please.
In regards to using your talk about role models and stuff, I don't support every Liverpool channel because although they may say Liverpool, nope, they don't represent Liverpool. So I big up Honesty for that, but I would not be doing that. That's just my
So I get asked 12th man. I can ask 12th man a question. I can ask 12th man a question. When you watch a game, like when the game happened in life and you watch a game, do you ever rewatch the game?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I've been
So if you
I do tactical, I do. The difference is I do tactical breakdowns. I do tactical Tuesdays. I used to have at least a session where I do tactical Tuesdays. So I mean, like if anything, I'm breaking down a lot. I'm watching footage in a lot of the breakdown that people don't see. The parts and points of like where I'm calling out other players or I'm angry about something else because yes, I get Trent might be quote unquote in your mind have one of his many mess ups or many times he's turned off. But I'm looking at the one or two plays before that put him out. That was the reason why he's out of position. I'm looking at different little concepts of well, the system that we play has him so far advanced. Yes, it's going to be difficult for him to get back into that spot where he's going to be able to make a good tackle or a good recovery. It's not easy to do those things because of the system or because of the circumstances. That's how I break down things. And that's why when I hear the many thing, I'm like, you don't recognize, or not you, but sometimes people don't recognize that there's more parts to the equation than just, oh, Trent looked turned off there. Didn't look like he really tried. No, there's other parts about it too.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But the thing that I'm going to interject where there is being out of position due to a play, and then there's the question where you just don't give 100% when you're within the play. And when you're within a play and you're not giving 100%, as I said, that's where I have a question. Because as I said, yes, I understand. Yep, he's given the freedom to do this, and sometimes he can't do that. But guess what? When some other men busting their ass and they're expecting you to at least kind of fall back to help defensively, whether you're on the right side, in the middle and stuff, but you just kind of trotting back in slow motion, like if you're on a movie shoot. I'm sorry, I've seen that.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
What I was actually going to say is you can label that same thing. But I'm not sure why we are still on Trent, to be honest.
Oh, man.
You see that jogging thing?
Oh, my goodness.
That jogging thing annoys me. That's one of the things that annoys me.
It annoys me too.
You'll see a guy doing that pretend run back. And I'm saying, you're not really running. It's just that when the video shows on Monday, when we're looking at the video on Monday, and the coach is saying, look at 12. 12 is busting a gut. No, he isn't. 12 is pretending that he's running back. There are times that Trent didn't even pretend. And that's in my head, I can see certain moments that he didn't do that.
Me too.
The one thing that stands out in my mind is that goal against Everton where he was at the back stick.
Yep.
He didn't even jump.
He saw the guy coming. The guy is coming. You're looking at
I'm not saying that I want Trent to leave like Maddie. I'm not saying that.
No.
He's not.
I never said I want Trent to leave.
None of those things. Sorry, Maddie. Sorry. You think Trent could possibly leave? Yeah. I'm not one of those. But you have to say there are moments. So 12, I understand you. And honesty saying it here. Look, we are Liverpool fans. We got big. Yeah. This is in-house honesty. This is our guys, our team. We having a little moment.
Yeah. But we have to criticize certain things. We have to.
In-house we do. When we go out there, we should not criticize Liverpool
players. When I hear people say that
there.
Trent can't defend, I think it's nonsense.
Yeah,
I agree.
The Champions League and the Premier League.
Thank you.
That's where I was about to go with it.
Nonsense.
That's where I was about to go.
I
don't believe
that conversation with someone who says Trent cannot defend.
We all have seen Trent lock down players defensively. We all have
bust the gut, make a challenge on the goal line, do things. Yes. That's the frustration part about it.
To answer Honesty's question, there's an old saying that sums it up. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. So we have to learn to criticize our own before we can criticize
other people. Yeah.
So that answers your question, Honesty, right there.
Fair.
If you don't criticize your own players, then you need to shut the hell up about other players outside of Liverpool.
I'm with you, man.
So if you want to open your mouth about other players, then you have to live and look within yourself.
Agreed.
And that's not a go at you, Honesty. I'm just telling you the facts.
As in love, honesty, love for the super chat again, bro.
Everything.
Love.
You got to look inside first, brother. Always.
Yeah. Listen, I think honestly, for me, I think Trent can go to another level. In my opinion, I think he has the capability.
He
go to another level. You know.
That's why I think it's frustrating for some of us because Trent
You can
People are
see
forgetting that at 18 or 17 or 18, he locked down Ronaldo in the Champions League. The following year, he locked down Messi and Suarez and Coutinho, where people forget that we know that this guy has shown us that this guy has shown a generational talent that people don't even know where to play him. That's how good he is. But at the same time, that's what with greater talent, greater powers comes greater responsibilities. They will come at you because you are so good. People for R9 used to get it so bad that World Cup, he purposely gave the haircut just to tell people how bad he is. And that's the thing that these days, Madi is saying, these days, these new talents, they don't want to be criticized. You have to keep giving him participation trophies and, no. The best you are, the great you are, you are the one who should get the most. And then you have to prove to us why whatever we're saying is nonsense.
Well
that's all. That's what my thing.
Not only that, the other thing that I listened to, and I just had to laugh because where people just say, well, I understand like your Pele and those sorts mightn't be the younger generation's role model.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's the point that they miss? Go and look and see when Pele played what he went through. The amount of kicks and stuff that dude got.
They wanted to kill him.
Right?
Literally.
The amount of kicks and tackles he got. They will have to put some respect on it, because if any of these players these days get anything close to that, they will quit their football career.
Yep. And let's be honest, Madi. Then at one point, even worse than medicine was not working, they had to use the traditional medicine to get him back on the field because his foot was so okay. To us, the way we speak, they're like, oh, look at these old folks. They don't know what they're talking about.
Ankles and shins on Pele was horrible. Mm-hmm. Horrible. People that talk about Jack Grealish does get fouled. He's not even in the same realm.
Bigger
anyone that watching this game 5 or game 4, I should say.
Yeah, Luka and Kyrie as
Boston getting the boots handed to them right now.
Oh, it's part of the play, man.
They weren't going to sweep them.
You can't get sweep them, man.
They're not going to sweep them. It's part of the play. It's part of the. They have to pay. TV. Las Vegas said you can't sweep them. So that. Oops. Did I say too loud? Okay, sorry.
You're going to feed the kids.
Feed the kids, man. We got to feed the kids, man.
Yeah, Luka trying to set himself as a role model, huh?
Well, he is. He's a role model, but guess what? Guess what? Guess what? After they lost game 3, you saw the heat that he received from everybody. Everybody came up to him and said, "Stop that foolishness that you're doing." Yeah, it's nice when we all said, "Oh, you are great, greatest backcourt." Yeah, whatever. And then when things went bad, all he did was complain. No, you get up, strap the boot up, and go show him what you have been made of. And today he's doing it. And he has to do it again 3 times. He has to do it again 3 times, not just 1 time. You have to do it again 3 more times.
No. Boston winning this series. They ain't no coming back.
Boston winning this series. No team has ever won.
Yeah, no team's coming back from 3-0 ever. Not having it. Not this time. Angel, what's going on, brother?
Why do you mean not this time? Who are you taking shot at, Bounce?
Because nobody's never done it. He ain't doing it.
No, and I hear you said. I know you're gonna say Golden State. I can hear your Golden State in the
Golden State. Nah, why?
Don't hate on my team, man.
I live in us, and I don't support it.
Listen, my team beat Golden State already. Come on.
You guys were lucky that's true, man. We got so.
I don't want to hear about that stupid talk with luck.
We had injuries. KD, the bastard is.
The claw put you guys in a vice grip. Stop it.
What happened when we had the whole squad for like 15 minutes?
What happened? Like what?
I think it was game 3 when KD ruptured his Achilles.
No, that was game
4.
That was game 5.
Game 5. Yeah. For that 12 minutes or 15 when everybody was in the game, you guys had no answers. You guys down, play go down.
You guys were only up by 8, though. So what are you telling me?
But it doesn't matter. It was going up.
Yeah, but it was only 8 points, bro. At the beginning of the game. Come on, Quasi.
Remember, that's the only game that KD played. That's the only 12 minutes. That's the only game he played against you guys because he had hurt his leg.
His macaroni legs freaking buckled, and he here pop goes to please.
Macaroni legs.
Listen,
macaroni legs.
The man needs to KD needs to flip him out, do some leg press or some squats or something with 50-pound bags of potatoes on his back or something and get some stronger legs. Anyway, big up to Honesty again. 3rd super chat. Trent says it's easy at times for him. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? And what's your favorite sport at the Olympics? And big up, Chris.
Can I answer that one real quick?
Big up, Honesty.
This is the part where Trent needs to realize that if he wants to be like in the levels of the Michael Jordans and the Kobe's, when it's easy for you, you still find a way to challenge yourself. He is right. When it's easy for you, sometimes you could switch.
Yeah.
Right? It's too easy. I
agree.
But for you to be the great one, the easier it gets, the way you have to find a way to challenge yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna fall off so fast. You're not even gonna be like, wait a minute, I thought no. That's the thing about being great. You find levels and you keep breaking ceilings and you keep going. There's no ceiling if you want to be great.
I agree. And the favorite sport at the Olympics. Quasi, I start with you first.
4x1 relay.
12 man.
One I like to watch the most would be the 100-meter dash, 100 meter.
Maddie?
No, my fault. Basketball. Because basketball isn't like now. Basketball. One of the two.
I know we just have Trini inside of the Olympics, but my favorite time is the Jamaican women and them bringing home the 100-meter gold. Bam!
There you go.
Yeah. How you think you're gonna do it this time, though? I'm just saying. That's the question. That's the question. The Americans are back. I'm just
USA.
Shahiri, or whatever her name.
When she cut those hairs, ever since she cut the hair, it felt light, man.
It doesn't matter. Yam, Dasheen, and Kalaloo.
Angel, what about you? What's your favorite Olympic to watch?
I have two.
Yeah.
Women's gymnastics.
Yep.
And women's judo and stuff.
Oh my God! Why didn't you say synchronized swimming and let us go be, man?
No. I like hand-to-hand contact.
Yeah. I hear you. Ops, what about you?
I mean, the 100 meter is probably the biggest one, to be honest. But I like boxing. I like Olympic boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, boxing's good. Man.
You see,
I like
really skilled boxers at that in Olympic boxing. I think.
I like curling too. Curling is very interesting.
That's winter Olympics. We talk about different Olympics.
Winter. Sorry.
Yeah. I like the sprinting. So I like the 1, the 2, the 4x1, the 4x2. I like watching them.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love watching swimming. Swimming's be a good one.
What will be using the same question? What will be something that you look at, you'll be like, "Why am I even watching this?" But then you end up be like, "Wow, this is actually interesting."
Nah,
probably like BMX riding or something like that. Something stupid. Why is this in the Olympics? But then you're watching them sprinting along.
Big up Tarmizi. Big up John Wick. How you doing, bro?
Big up Tarmizi every time, man.
Big up Tarmizi.
The one that I don't watch.
Sorry.
One I don't watch. Period. In the Olympics, neither do I watch it.
One.
In the league, and as I said, it's just because it doesn't do nothing for me. I can't even tell you all 5 positions on the team is basketball. Even when Jordan was around, basketball never appealed to me. So to tell me to watch Olympic basketball would be telling me watching paint dry on the wall.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow.
Oh, you know, it's one that I forget that I absolutely love watching. volleyball. Beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
No,
And what's the name?
Only
What about
women's
ping pong?
volleyball. Only women's volleyball. Women's beach
Ping
volleyball.
pong and
Beach volleyball,
badminton.
yeah, beach volleyball. Good shout. Good shout.
Good
shout.
You dirty-minded old.
I even like volleyball.
I like volleyball in general.
No, volleyball. I like Olympics volleyball.
Yeah.
You see some serious athletes.
that's a good shout.
Them, both men and women. Both men and women.
Both of them.
Are
Both of them is insane.
It's insane.
Some of them is jump out of the gym. Jump out of the
Uh-huh.
gym, man.
Fox.
Man.
Especially
And that
sand. Dead
The
sand.
sand
And
is
you
even,
jump
the sand is even harder. It's even harder.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. If we are not in the top 4 by December, what are your thoughts?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nah,
Oh, boy.
patience.
Oh,
If we are in April and we are not in top 4, then oh my god.
nah,
December.
patience in December. Nah.
Yeah,
Angel,
patience.
You pretending that you
Angel,
know this fan base.
Oh, Trigger TV says slot out. Oh my
Depends.
days.
If we're not in the top 4 by December, for me,
Wait, so what's the
that's
question?
not a concern.
What's the question?
If we are not in the top 4 by December, what are your thoughts?
That's not a concern.
That's not a concern. There's still time.
Because
we gotta give
I've
Paul a chance.
seen
So there's still-
I've seen where in certain years where teams that were in the top 4 in December were out of the top 4 come January.
Yep.
So I'm not, and as I said, like people get this crazy thing where, like, if they, as I said, expectations is one thing, reality is another thing. And with a new coach and all the stuff coming in, I say if we within the 6 somewhere around there, we good. That person who say they're talking Alonso, he going to Real Madrid with Trent.
Listen, Pop's dirty, bad. He put that there just because. You think I can get caught in that again? Nah. That Zabi train fall off the tracks down the Frippin mountainside.
He Zabi going Madrid just like Trent.
Honesty with another 5.
I read the odds. There's a bigger chance of Thiago coming back from injury than playing for Liverpool than Xabi playing being coach of Liverpool and stuff.
Interesting. Women's 100 meter sprint, women's volleyball, all that booty jiggle. Also, 2 questions. Should Winded retire and should Tyson call the fight off completely?
Who's when did it? Wilder? I mean, you meant
Wilder.
Wilder. That's probably Wilder.
Yes, Wilder should retire.
Wilder needs to
Yes,
retire.
and yes.
He needs to retire. At this point,
yes.
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Why did he lose? Why did he lose so much weight? You are in the heavyweight.
Crazy.
What do I know?
And Tyson should call off the fight completely. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. My man just had. He just had he took ibuprofen and got an ulcer, and then they couldn't fight. Don't try to fight. Let it go.
And Craig got one. Do we agree that Szoboszlai should be a wide forward next season?
Number 10.
I've been
I
saying
think he's a number 10.
I've been saying that I would have liked to have seen him in January have played in Salah's position when Salah was at AFCON. I would have liked to have seen him been able to get involved in the offense, get more obviously advanced, not be, hunker down with running picking up for the slack for the many times always turning on and off Trent Alexander. I would like to see him be able to get forward a little bit more and be able to get involved in the offense.
Yeah, I think for me, I want to see him at the 10, to be honest.
I want to see him at a 10. Give him where he's good at.
I'm with Psychedelic here. I'm willing to give Klopp 1 season and see what happens.
He's slot.
Hear me say Klopp. Slot.
Yeah.
See,
I would love to give Klopp 1 more season.
I still think it a Klopp. I still miss my manager. Although I wanted him out last season, because he got me so pissed off. But
Barnes, that's why they don't want to mention Slot, have any press conference about Slot yet, because you're still thinking about Klopp.
Yeah, I still.
But on the question we had earlier, right, being fourth, not being in the top 4 in December, right? Once we are not far off the pace, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking up at number 1 and we're 5th or 6th, and the gap isn't significant,
it wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah. But you guys remember the year
well in the second half of the season.
Yeah. Remember the year that we had all those center back injuries? We fell off really hard.
We were in first place.
We were first.
And we fell off to 5th or 6th at one point, right? And then
we had to come back up.
And then we came back up to 3rd. So that's what I'm saying. Have no fear, people. Have no fear.
Next season for me, I'm not trying to set too much of expectations for the team, to be honest.
As long as Arsenal don't win.
You got to have a new Arsenal ain't winning, bro. I've already told you, heard me say the Golden League. They're going 0-4 again. They're not winning any trophies next season again. And I said it, no, I don't care who them bring in next season or in the off season. They still ain't winning next year.
Yeah.
Keep your protege.
I actually have a lot of faith on Slot, so I think we're going to do well next season, in my opinion.
I think we might do well in Champions League, Angel. I think I agree with you. I think he has a pedigree for Champions League.
I think we're going to do very well and stuff,
Yeah.
He has a better team than he had before, so
yeah.
He doesn't have much excuses. So
yeah.
But yes, we will. They gave him a 3-year contract for a reason.
I think depending. I think depending on what happens on his second season is whether they extend him or not.
Yeah.
After his second season, I think it depends.
I mean,
it's going to happen in the first season.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
You get the extension during the first year. You get the extension.
Oh, after the first year? Oh, okay.
Yep.
In the first year, I think you'll get the extension. Yeah.
No, but I remember the reason why he got an extension was the final, right?
No,
like it was right after the final.
His first year, he was there for what? Since October. He got that extension.
He joined in the season.
In the season, the full season that he got started. That's when they gave him extension.
Okay.
You sure? I thought he got the extension after.
No. He did go to the final when he first got there.
Yeah.
Europa.
We had the 2 finals.
Yeah,
we went to the League Cup
final
2
finals.
Europa.
Yeah, Man City against Man City. Yeah, against Man City.
Yeah. And then in his full season, his first full season, they extended it.
That's when he got the extension. Yeah,
that's the extension. So if they see that this guy is doing a great job, regardless of where he is at, they'll be like, okay, we see where you're going.
I mean, the guy came in. The guy took over in October.
Tough man. I hear there's no Independence Day for the United States this year and stuff. They got spanked the other day and stuff.
Is that why you got the Columbia jersey, man?
Who did they get spanked by?
Man,
Columbia.
I went, Chris. By the way,
let me ask a question though. Did Lucho do anything in that game?
We don't claim him in here. He's from Barbados.
Oh my God,
he's my guy.
we don't claim him.
By the way, Chris.
Yeah, what's up, Twazi?
2 weeks ago, I had a tournament that I went to play. If I won that tournament, I would have gone to the Brazil versus Colombia, and I think it's in Levi Stadium.
Oh, what's up? And you won or what? Or not?
Nah, man. I was so close. That old age kicked in real fast. It was hot.
What type of tournament was it? Was it like a football?
It was the town that I'm in. They had a community 4-on-4 tournament.
Oh, okay.
There was about 20 teams.
4-on-4.
Wow. 4-4, yeah, small post. Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah.
Man, first 2 minutes.
That's fitness, though. That's fitness.
Bro, I was breathing. I thought I was fit until I started running against those 16.
Wait. Did you turn off?
No, I was on. I was talking
on all day. Okay, just making sure.
No.
I want to make sure you're that role model out there.
Man, everybody knows me here.
There's a difference. You really turned on, but it didn't help. It didn't help.
The light was on, but it was dim.
He was running.
Man. After 30 seconds, I'm breathing fire. And it was crazy because it was so hot and that as artificial turf. And if you played in artificial turf over 80 degrees,
Nah,
but Tough man, the issue why he lost was he became uninterested in defending Quasi and stuff.
No, I was defending like I was defending. That was a midfield, actually.
Honestly, again, if you could give your younger self advice, what would it be? And would listen to set advice and compare personality to a character or a movie?
Man. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a great question.
Second part, Steve.
Going back, you tell your young
Smoke Barbados 5-1. It is true. Curacao smoke Barbados 5-1 in football.
Damn.
Curacao.
But if you give your younger self advice,
work harder.
I
don't
can't
have a
say
ceiling.
I can't say that.
No, work smarter. Yes.
Smarter,
don't have a
smarter.
ceiling. Work smarter. Don't have a ceiling. Keep going. Whatever they tell you, if they say A is the best, go to A+.
Would you have listened though? That's the big question.
Don't spend your money on frivolous things is what I would say. Because when I was younger,
but would you have listened? Would you have listened to yourself?
You don't.
Yes, that's the question. Would you have listened to the advice? Would you have listened to this advice as your younger self?
Okay, Pop, if you show up, let's say you go back 20 years or 10 years. Me, 5 years.
No, you gotta go more.
For me, you gotta go more.
21. Oh, okay.
And then if it's yourself looking at yourself, you listen, because whatever advice we talking about, our parents told us. We just didn't listen.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's the point. That's really the point.
Yeah, but if you who say, "Hey, I'm you 20 years ago," you better listen. Otherwise, I don't want this.
Fact.
Oh, the other advice: buy stocks in Yahoo or Google.
Microsoft would have been a good one.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah, those early stocks.
Ravi's got a question, and I'm going around the board for this one. Who is winning the Euros? Maddie, I'm starting with you. Maddie in there. 12th man.
Who is winning? Let's see. That is a tough one, because I did say Belgium is. I think Belgium's going to surprise people this Euro. The last hurrah.
I'll answer your question in about 3 minutes, Barnes. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Yeah. I know who Pop's going for, and it's just his biasness. That's all.
Yeah. I'll be easy. I'll go France. Let's stick with them.
Okay. Angel.
Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal's a good stuff too, though.
Pops.
Who do I think?
Yeah.
Or who do I want?
Yeah, that's the difference. That is.
Who is winning the Euros?
It should be France, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not wrong though. It shouldn't be.
Should be. I don't think they will for some reason. I don't know why. But if you just line them up, to me they're the best. Portugal's got a good squad.
Mm-hmm.
Germany are the home team, so you can never count out the home nation, and probably get a home nation call at some point. And people say, "Oh, look, that's because it's in Berlin or wherever it is that they got that call."
Yeah.
If England had a better manager, I would say that they would probably be my top 4. But I don't think Southgate is good enough to win the tournament as a manager, to be honest.
Tactically, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. So if I'm just if I had to bet on a team, if I had money and I put it on a team, I'd say France, because I think they're probably
would you say
most stacked team.
Would you say?
Who are you, Barnes?
Would you say Netherlands?
You going for Holland? Okay. Go on, Angel. Sorry.
No, I'm saying.
Would we say Southgate is
a man manager?
No.
And he's just relying on the players' ability.
Yeah, actually, yes. If you put that, yes.
I think he is. So like two things.
I think he's a man manager.
He's been in the setup for a long time, so he's got that relationship with somebody like Saka that you might argue Klopp had. So he's seen him in the unders. He's brought him through. He's now a senior member of the team and one of the leaders, if you want, in terms of first names on the team sheet is Saka. Then he's got his trusted soldiers in Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw and them sort of players. So yes, but as a player, he was very defensive and sort of negative and not necessarily the best. So he's kind of like ordinary, which sometimes translates to a better coach than the ones who are the best. But for me, I don't see, he doesn't make the big decisions, the bold decisions, the big gambles, because you have to at some point say, you know what, I have to win. England can't come to participate in this tournament. This is one. They should be saying, we have to win this.
Fox.
I don't think he's that man. I don't think he's the man to say, I'm going to pull a defender off, I'm going to put Trent on, I'm going to pull a defender off, and I'm going to add Gordon wide and move Foden inside. I don't see him doing things that are dynamic. And even in some of the selection, you might argue, you know what? Well, yeah, he shouldn't have left him, or he shouldn't have left him, or he shouldn't have picked him. So I don't know.
I don't disagree with him dropping Grealish, to be honest.
No, he needed to make a statement. Grealish hasn't played well all season.
No, he hasn't.
But okay, so let's look at it this way. This is a part where I think sometimes some people forget. Tournament football is different from league football. League football, you can make mistakes and able to
100%.
Yeah. Tournament football, you just need to find a solution and focus on that and see if it works. If it don't, find another one, right? Sometimes it's not going to be pretty. Let's look at Liverpool, 2005. We were probably the worst team in the whole Champions League. We end up winning the thing, right? Morocco, World Cup. They just stick to the boring, somebody will call the Simone style of play, and it took them to semifinals for a first African team to ever do that. Okay. So a lot of times I think some people need to sit back away from whatever they saw during the whole 9 months of league football and say that this is just a tournament football. We just need to find a plan that works and then stick to it. Because if you're trying to play Pep Guardiola football in a tournament, you're not going far. There's been only one team that has ever done that, and that was Spain, right? So that's the part where I think a lot of times people tend to like, oh, let's do, no, it's not going to work. Trent has never played with Grealish for 9 months straight. So he and Grealish is not going to have that same, telepathic understanding of football. They're just training for 2 weeks and then you're going to go play in a tournament. So, but also the manager also has to find that solution and make it work.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah. And before we close out the show, Copa America.
Whew. I think Argentina, man.
Yeah, I go in with Argentina too.
I think Argentina. Brazil, something ain't right.
They ain't got no defense.
Thank you.
Yeah, agreed.
How often do you see the World Cup winners come back and win the Copa though, Angel?
It's not very often.
One second.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very often, Pops.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
What's up?
How often do you see the World Cup winners come back and win the Copa America?
I don't think that's.
I think Brazil's the only one.
Maybe Brazil's probably
rare, right?
Or Uruguay. Back in the day. Maybe.
Back in the early ones. So Argentina then are maybe they could again big favorites probably going into the tournament, but
yeah.
There
might be a dark horse somewhere. I mean, last time Paraguay and Uruguay went to the finals.
Is that you, Angel? Colombia?
Yeah,
I think Colombia is a. I think Colombia is a dark horse.
We are unbeaten in the last 14 games. So
there you go.
I'm
looking at
no, but honestly, I honestly think Uruguay's winning. I think Uruguay's going to win.
Yeah, I was going to say that Uruguay is also a very
Uruguay looks good.
Valisa is unlocking that team.
Nunez.
He scored a hat trick.
Yeah, 3 top-ins, bro. Top-ins.
No,
goodness.
Adrian, you got to look back at some of the other games and them.
Oh, Barnes,
you got to look back at some of the other games and them also. Nunez has been lethal.
Oh, I know. I was just referring to the hat trick. There were 3 tap-ins. There were Ian doing that in.
Yeah, but he also did a hat trick also in a previous game where he scored some bangers.
Yeah, I know those.
Wait. Ben,
are you to the last one?
Are you criticizing the hat trick because it's tap-ins?
No, I'm not saying. They're saying they were tap-ins, they're not worldies. Jeez, man.
It doesn't matter whether the worldies or not. The ball touched the net.
He seemed like something clicks for him in Uruguay because he is lethal. He's been lethal on the Bielsa for Uruguay. He's been lethal.
Instructions.
Chris, I think you have a good point about that. I think that it's what Quasi just said, instructions, but also it's the connection that he has with his teammates, knowing that he's going to be making those runs. He doesn't. His offsides, for instance, with Uruguay, is noticeably different than his offsides that he gets with Liverpool. And there's a difference because
from because I'm a negative guy. So you're telling me he doesn't have a connection.
I mean, just how many offsides he has for Uruguay versus how many offsides he gets with Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
I know that's often
he's offside at least 4 times a game with Liverpool, and it's blow my cool.
Isn't that a factor of the fact that he is really, really the man for Uruguay? When
he is the focal
not
point.
Necessarily
He's
really,
a focal
really the man
point
for us. If you look at it, yeah. So they're looking at him every single time, while our guys are looking at different spots.
But let's look at it this way, though.
Right.
Just to go back to what Barnes was hating on Darwin about, they knew where he needed to be at. They knew where he needed to be at, and he needed to be at a certain point, and he just tapped it in. And those are more important goals than the bangers. Look at Haaland. Most of Haaland 50-something goals were just tap-ins.
Quasi.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Some of Haaland's goals were just tap-ins. The bangers, he woofed them. Killed birds.
Before we...
Yeah, there's someone trying to call me out for my comment. What I'm trying to get across is that, like, the opportunities that you create. I'm not saying that I got into this conversation before with Nunez. I understand that he needs to improve his conversion rate. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to improve on that. But what I am saying is that some of the opportunities that are created for him, reason why he's offside so often or quite so often is because he's expecting that pass to be made and it's not.
Yep, quicker.
It's a difference. Like, as in, he's expecting to make that run and he's expecting the ball to be there and he's going to run onto it. But when you have a system that, we're not going to give you that pass, we're going to make another extra pass or 2 extra passes before, and now you've got to like circle back, or you got to like maybe like try to like hesitate before you make that run. It makes a difference. That's all I'm trying to get across.
Yeah.
Or you can just solve the issue and play him in the 6.
There you go.
Oh, geez, Angel. Become a bigger. Everyone looks for Salah on team, exactly. And I'm gonna say it, make an unpopular comment right now. I think our fluidity is better when we're not looking for Salah all the time. I think we play more as a team when we're just trying not to focus everything on Salah, and everything flows better.
And he even plays better.
Do you realize that Pops is looking down at the moment? He's writing you.
I know what Pops doing. Don't worry. Listen, me and Pops know each other for a long time. I know exactly what Pops doing, which is why I said it that way. You notice my careful selection of wording, right? Yeah, I know. I ain't crapping.
So are you saying that we should let Salah go this summer?
No, that's what you said. One more super chat. Honestly, big up, bro. Don't sleep in Uruguay. they got a great squad, and Darwin for Uruguay is a different animal. Palestri is on smoke. To Bielsa got him cooking.
Bielsa is a good coach.
Yep,
he's a very good coach.
He is a very good coach. I agree.
Bielsa, right?
Yeah.
Bielsa.
But his style suits tournament football, though. His style.
Yes. That's true.
Up and down for 5 or 6 games, 7 max, and you're good. That's it. Give me everything for 700 minutes.
And you look at the players he has. His defense sorted. He has Araujo right there.
Yeah.
Experience. You have Valverde in midfield.
That is like
an attack.
Look at Bielsa and Valverde. They are match made in heaven. Like that mentality.
I agree.
No, Valverde, Ugarte. Oh my God.
They're gonna be a problem.
Taramizi. Ooh, everyone's cooking tonight. Barnes are bringing by TA price to GTA, but that's because of selling them. No longer collect boots, running trainers. Now you're speaking my language. You never walk alone. Big up.
Wow.
Big up to our Mizzy.
Oh, he's selling them.
Mizzy
Yeah.
has fully gone
He's
over,
selling
man.
the Preds.
Wow.
He's selling the Preds. Wow.
Wow.
Peoples, that's it for us tonight. The show was banging. We back with another Friday Night Lime. We back again next week. Don't worry.
Ella
We had
Joe,
our rest.
don't
Now
sleep
we
on it.
back. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then he flopped. Yeah, love as always to everyone. Make sure you smash those likes. We have 42 likes. Get us to 50 likes,
chat,
please.
the panel. Drifty was in the building, came
Yeah,
out.
Drifty came in earlier. Big up to Drift. Big up to
Joe.
everyone.
Joe was here. Gaz.
Guys, yeah.
My pattern comment is like, those people who don't like Nunez, why don't they give him to Man United and see what happens?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man, that'll be funny.
Easy,
to all the
man,
fathers
easy.
out there,
What's with all the violence, man? Easy. Give him to United.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Honestly,
all the
yes.
fathers, man.
It's Father's
Yes,
Day.
we will. Yes,
this
on Friday, on Sunday.
And to those who
today.
reside in America, happy Juneteenth.
Thank you so well. Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, yes, we will do some watch alongs. Not this weekend because it's Father's Day weekend, so I definitely ain't doing a watch along this weekend. But next weekend, most likely, I will do a couple. You fellas will do a couple of watch alongs and stuff for the weekend with the Copa America. We could mix it up. We could probably have Angel do some Colombia Copa America watch alongs, and then we hit some Euros as well. So we'll do a combination of each one. But
It's a great summer, people. Enjoy it. Don't worry about Liverpool yet. Enjoy the tournament.
We got football going on.
Yes, football going on.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
we got a show on Monday as well. So come back on Monday. Check us out. Weekend roundup. And yeah, as Dakota says, subscribe to everyone in the panel's channel. Peoples, for sure. 12th man.
I'm too much of a troublemaker. I can't have a channel on YouTube.
That is a fact. That
You
is
should.
a fact.
Actually, Maddie, me and you
This
need to
show
have
was
a
fire.
show.
Maddie
Call it
Mad's
the
show would be fire.
Odd couples, you and I.
Bonfire. Bonfire. Straight bonfire.
Yeah. Maddie will be Maddie would have
No, you know what would be the great show? Maddie versus Uncle Rod's.
Oh yeah, boy.
Who would say no? Who would say no?
No, I think Maddie won that already though.
Yeah, he did.
I think Maddie won that.
Rod's disappear like Harry Houdini and David Copperfield.
Oh, Rod said he's not supporting Liverpool anymore because of we getting slot. So we're not going to see Rod for a while.
Seriously?
Yeah. He came on my show and said it. He and Zuberi went at it. Zuberi almost lost his mind. He's like, what?
Oh my God.
Wait, no. What's the link to that? I need to watch it. What's the link to that?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you gotta send me that.
You gotta send me the link.
I gotta watch.
Oh yeah, I'll find the link. I'll send it to you.
No comment.
What's the name of it?
Let me find it because I have to. I'll find it and I'll send it to you, Chris, on Twitter.
Yeah, send it to me on Twitter. People's love as always. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers there. Bless up, peoples. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Good night.
Bless.